I might die tonight, but if I do, I'm a...
Love thyself.
Knowing there's a problem at hand to begin with.
Oh, welcome back to the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Australia's, the world's dopest podcast. Big Schmitto, how are we?
Good. In the house, number 22.
That's the one. And we have a very, very special guest here with us, Jimmy from Fatal Finish Detailing. I was thinking last night before I cut you off, do you just go by Jimmy? Do you have a last name in the public scene, or are you just Jimmy from Fatal?
The police and my mum call me Jamie.
Okay, there we go.
Because you're in trouble.
Correct.
Jamie.
But nah, just Jimmy.
Jimmy from Fatal.
Yep.
Anyway, how are you there, Cole? Welcome.
I'm good. Life's good. Everyone's good.
That's
Family's good. Everyone's good.
I just want to ask, is it James?
No, Jamie.
So
Literally Jamie, yeah. No one calls me There was a high school teacher in like year 8 that called me like Jimmy, and I ran with that because I hated Jamie. So I said, the only time is literally the police is Jamie or my mum.
Yeah, fair.
That's the only time I get. Fair. That's a big, like, no one knows that, so that's a huge thing there because not many people know that's my actual name.
Well, when I first heard Trev call you it. And I
Yeah,
was
Trev
like,
does it all the time with his smarter.
That's the fuck you call, who's Jamie?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. Interesting.
So, I'm done. That's all he's named.
So we're done. So anyway, we've probably got plenty of just banter to fucking back and forth. My voice is up the shit at the moment, so fucking sorry about that. Where do we start? Really fucking not really sure. Have you got anything off the top of the bat?
Yeah, well, straight off, we've got you here. You fucking just tipped a whole lot of time and energy, and I'm guessing money into your workshop. How was that?
Look, honestly, it was only a 2-week turnaround. Like, we did it pretty quick. So, got big goals, got big aspirations that we really want to, they will come to fruition at some point.
Yep.
But we just needed the extra room and pulled the trigger, and we done that in 2 weeks. Like,
so
that was
you expanded with inside. So was there a wall or something?
Yeah, so pretty much just moved the wall back, took over another half of the workspace.
Yep.
Fitted it all out, grinded the floors, done the lighting, set it up how we wanted to, like proper bays, so it was honestly like, it looks killer, but it was just a 2-week sort of...
Go hard.
Yeah, sort of. But we're only there for a short time. We're already planning the next one, and then that'll be when I really want to pull the trigger.
Make it what you've always kind of thought.
Yeah, I have some stupid goals that I think can be attainable one day. Like, from where I come from to what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, well, like, that's the next one. But
I guess now that you've just said that, I feel like that's probably what we should tap on for maybe people that don't know who you are listening to this. You're a detailer, you clean high-end cars, planes, the lot. Mm-hmm. Where'd you come from?
Drugs.
Yeah, okay.
It's the majority of the starters.
Do you think, do a lot of your fan base know that side of you a lot? Where you actually came from?
I think a lot would have to
understand.
have a look at me.
Understand
you know
that.
what I mean? Like, you see these details these days, and they're very polished and proper in the way they present themselves and that. And
But don't get me wrong, you still do that.
Yeah,
if I didn't know you from a bar of soap and I just got onto your shit and seen, everything that, like, say, for the last 3 years that you've kind of done content-wise, posted, boosted your business, all the above, it's like, I wouldn't think that you'd come from any kind of harsh, background. It looked like and seems like, you
Professional.
Well, that obviously, and you've got your shit together.
Now yes, but I come from like I was in
like the rest of us.
Nah.
Yeah, you're pretty low, yeah, like pretty.
Yeah, obviously there was that point period. Like I was full blown living like in the ghetto, like fucking selling drugs. Like I still remember going in the bathrooms, people shooting up and shit. Like when I obviously don't talk about it much because it's something that a lot of people still frown upon and obviously don't understand and probably never been in that position before. But like we're like literally living in a place called like G Block. You know what I mean? Like it was I seen some shit, done some shit.
With the fam? Like with
no way. No, I
I
didn't even have April at that time. Like, no, I was like literally like just making good bank, selling drugs, banging girls, running amok with the boys. Like, it was like the kid's drug dealer dream. You know what I mean?
Which came off the back of you being a bit of a skate park BMX pretty.
Yeah, so I rode motorbikes when I was a kid.
Yep.
And then the old man, that's a whole different situation.
Yep.
But me and mum moved away, went to Wodonga, and she couldn't afford to buy me a bike or anything like that, like a dirt bike, etc. like that, especially single mum. So she bought me a BMX, and I just started going in the BMX park. And then I've been one of them kids that, because I've never had a father figure or anything around me in life, I've always tried to over excel in every sport and stand out.
Yes.
So I played rep football, played rep cricket. Like, I did all that as a kid. Everything I did that I could get some attention and get people to sort of, prove my worth.
Yes.
I would go hard in that. So then I got a BMX, and then I found some boys like that. We go to the BMX track, and then like I'm riding shirtless, brakeless, and I'm literally racing with the BMX racers on like their $4,000 GTs.
Yep.
And I'm flipping the triples and doing no foot cans and shit. Like, things just really started to pick up on that.
Yep.
Got the BMX. Then I started going to skate park, doing that type of shit. I was out of school by 15. Moved to Shep. Had a couple of sponsors up there pick me up. Worked in a motorbike shop up there, which now I look at. I threw that opportunity away, something fierce, but like I had the best setup then. You mean that's when like controversy sales was huge, like Twitch, Scummy. Like I was like right, but I just go to skate park ride all the time, and then I found drugs and women. Started smoking weed and went down that path, and and it was weird because I started smoking weed because of the people I looked up to. So you're sitting there and you're watching Twitch and Scummy. Jump. I go to skate park. I couldn't drop in the 6 foot.
I'm one of them. Fuck me, this is way bigger.
I'm one of them. Like, I couldn't. Like, I'm one of them. Like, what you mean? Like, I know people that get lit and then will drive. I'm like, I get lit and I'm like, So, and then I started mucking around with girls, and I sort of, at that point in time, right, and I was learning flares, and like I could stick flares, and then you'd have a few come undone. And over like a 3-week period, I knocked myself out like 3 times doing flares and coming down in the quarter pipe sideways and hit me head. And I was like, man, this is shit. And then girls, and then just started smoking weed. And then everything sort of turned to shit and shit because obviously I stopped putting the effort in. And I moved back to that clique in Wodonga that I'd sort of left when I was younger, and that had like that 4 or 5 years to progress, and they progressed the wrong way. And I just picked straight up. And I was straight into the hood and just...
How long were you fucking up for?
I'm not too sure.
Yeah, like maybe. How old?
Yeah, like what are we talking age-wise?
Like 17, 18 through to sort of 21, 22 sort of thing.
Yeah, the average age you fucking.
The only thing that stopped, like the only thing that really pulled us up is we got raided. Like we had back then it was like one of the biggest raids in the region then. They got like everything. And you got to remember back then there was no ice.
Yes.
Ice didn't exist. So it's just gas and all that type of pills, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And they got us in a huge raid. Literally, if they had got me a day, if they had the person I was living with, they got her. If they had come a day later, they would have got me, and I would have like done my first real decent stint type of thing.
Right.
And it was just at that same time that I met April.
True.
And sort of like I'd known her for like 2 weeks, and I realised pretty quickly that when all that happened, everyone that was around me, all the boys that I'd like bought clothes and food and like same disappeared.
Classic.
And that's when I sort of realised that that wasn't the route I'm going to go down, and it took me a long time. I didn't have my first like real job until I was like 24, 25.
Yeah, okay. I was going to ask that. Like, wait, you didn't just go, fuck it, I need to sort me shit and go start Fatal.
No way. I stuffed. Well, Fatal's only been around 8 years.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so I did some other shit, and then I went and did the factory thing, and again, I pushed myself and excelled because I was looking for that. What do you call it? Like when you want to just get that appreciation or that, like I'd always excel at my jobs and work as hard as I could because I wanted to be respected and stuff. Because I never got that shit at home.
I was going to say, do you reckon that's because you didn't have the father figure?
100%.
Yep.
That's why most middle-aged males that are damaged didn't have a father around.
Yeah, for sure. And that's why I asked, because there's going to be other people, and there has been people that is very similar, man. We hear this fucking heaps.
Yeah. I never had that father role model. I never had, like, don't get me wrong, I love my mum. We're not very close in the sense, like, because we just clash heads all the time. But mum did her best to provide for us, or provide for me and her, but she was never around. Man, I did, like, as a young kid, like, I remember, my mum was never around. Like, I literally, like, I was that kid
only child?
Yeah.
So you don't have any siblings?
No, I was that kid riding around on the BMX, like, 15 years old in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know
right.
what I mean? And then I wasn't doing ghetto shit, but I just had no responsibilities, like no nothing. And that's why I was always looking for that father figure. I always wanted to stand out and prove myself.
So the older boys were, in a sense, like they're
And that's why when I come back in the drug game and you have a few older ones that take you under their sort of wing and teach you a few things and show you a few things. And when you're a young kid at that age and you're rolling around 2-3 grand a week in cash in your pocket, you mean the girls know you're bad news, but they want to sleep with you because you fucking everything's just popping and it's just
They
all
want part of it, but they really don't want part of it.
yeah.
correct. You know, 100%. Bro, I remember yeah, I won't go there, but yeah, like
Go there.
I was bad with girls as a kid. Like I was really bad, but like just
Have a talk, boys.
Shut up, man. Fuck you, Shane.
bro, like some of the things I think, because I obviously don't try and think about that much shit from back then, but like, you mean, like, literally like 5-6 dudes living in like a 2-3 bedroom unit, you mean, I'm banging girls on the floor, or you mean, like, it was just
Classic. Yeah.
a couple of girls, and like, I ran amok.
Yeah.
Like, and I lived it, like, and I was like, had the cash, go out, have benders all the time, do this, do that. And don't get me wrong, there's probably 2 or 3 maybe 3 or 4 of the boys that were sort of in that just as much that I still communicate with now. A lot of them have done well, got their own businesses.
They got out.
They got out and they've just figured out like life and better ways to hustle and do things.
Yep.
But a lot of the people that I was actually closely tied in with, like my mates, a lot of them fucked.
Yeah.
You're gone, or like not even here, sort of, or
Couple aren't here,
jail, or just drug fucked.
killed themselves.
Yeah.
Killed, jail, and just drug fucked and just, never, I shouldn't say this because you should never say this about anyone, but I just don't personally think they'll attain to anything now.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, it's too far late. Like, they've just been caught up in that cycle for that long doing that shit.
That's all they know.
And it's just, So, but as I said, like, there's a few boys that I still communicate with that have done well, that have got out of the game. But, so, like, that was just, I also like that part of my life because I hustle.
Yeah, that's where you got your grind from.
That's it.
Love
That's it.
100%.
When you're not force fed from fam and you've got to go out and fend for yourself and you've been put in situations just like, brother, outwork me. Let's go.
Yep.
Like, let's go. I will risk the biscuit more than you.
Yeah. I can fully fucking understand that.
Yeah.
On different levels too. Like,
Yep.
heaps. Yeah, no, that's cool to hear. It's good to hear fucking all the ins and the outs.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's a lot of people. A lot of people know that, but don't know like how bad it was.
Yeah.
Like we were in the shit. That's what I mean. This is how bad it was when they come and they raided us and they brought the dog in. I still remember this. The dog was from Deniliquin, the drug dog.
Yeah.
So every time the dog sits, they'd give it a treat or whatever like that. So like we'd drop weed and shit on the ground or like whatever, and we'd just fucking scuff it in the ground.
Yep.
This dog, bro, come in and just dragged its ass through the fucking house.
They couldn't
And then-
stand up.
And then when it went into like a couple of areas of the house, which I had nothing to do with, like I was never injecting, using needles, nothing like that. But people in the house were, like, they're literally coming out and they've got like bags of needles and like, do you know anything about this? I'm like, no. Like, yeah, man, I'm trying to play it cool. Like, no, I don't want nothing to do with that. Like, this dog went out, the cunt ran out of treats. Like, the dude just took him out. He's like, what's the point? Like, the house is fucked. It's riddled. You know what I mean?
Wow. So like, and like that's the extent of it. You were
it was-
living with cunts shooting up next door. Like the next room, it was dark.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. But I also had like all my mates living in there. You know what I mean? Like, we'd wake up we didn't have jobs and that. We had cash. Like, you wake up on a Thursday and someone's like, you want to eat 2 pills? I'll eat 3.
Yeah.
And then you go from Wednesday and just try and push it through to Saturday.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah, it was
So you were always just like pills, gack, all of that yourself. You never went hard on heroin or
no.
anything like that?
I seen it, and I never got around like the oxys and that then because there was people around us then that like were injecting oxys and shit like that. I never touch prescription drugs that come later on in life.
Yeah.
But at that point in time, it was just speed. Back in the day, you mean you just speed and pills, that was enough, and I just smoked weed flat out. It was just that was I am so lucky that I missed the whole ice thing. Because I know that so many of the boys that got fucking caught up on it and it ruined them. And even good people I know got caught up and ruined on it.
Our whole generation's lucky from that time.
100%.
Some of them, as you're saying, got caught up with it, but that was at a later stage because it was never a fucking thing.
3 years more, I would have been caught up in it. And because I have such an addictive personality, I would have. jumped on it super hard.
Yep.
Just 2 secs. Is that not working? Don't do smokes. Really? Oh, just do a little pausey and can you just
Hold 5.
start again?
I heard it like click too.
Yeah, I heard it tick.
It heard the heroin.
I'm out of here.
So is that all completely gone now?
No, just that fucking end bit. Yeah, just some technical difficulties there, ladies and gentlemen, but we're back on. We were just coming off the life of. I was going to say something. Do you have zero contact with your old man?
Yeah, no, nothing.
Done.
Not interested. No, I had him back in my life for a little bit when Ari was born.
Yep.
And it just wasn't worth it, man. Like
Yep.
it just, and he was only around for a short time. And then, he's gone out and married a Filipino. I think it's like a year or two younger or older than me and had a kid himself. So I've got a half step brother out there that just,
Bit weird.
All right.
life choices.
Yep.
I'll make peace with him on his deathbed. I'll say, your choices, I have mine. Good luck with it. Hey, that's the best way to learn. I'm telling you, I know that sounds horrible to say that.
No,
Best way to
yeah.
learn, to raise my kids, man. Everyone's like, how do you be such a good dad? I'm like, man, I had the best fucking example on what to do.
Or not what to do.
What to do.
Exactly, not what to do. Like, don't do that. Like, if you have a
Do
decision,
everything opposite.
If you have a decision, go, I'll do the opposite.
Yeah.
And do you think is a little bit of like the disconnection too? Like you don't really want to bring that around your kids either. Like it's almost like you don't want them to be hurt in a sense too.
No, it's
Just you just don't
it's
want
just
anything to do with
it's
it.
just, he doesn't bring anything to the table in that sense. You know what I mean? Like, he was
Yep.
never
Never wanted to really be there. If you wanted to be there as a grandparent, you'd push.
as a dad.
Yeah.
As a dad at the start, I'm not
Yeah.
like, man, I'm fucking raising my kids. Like, I fucking love my. Like,
Yep.
That's just.
Which is like that definitely comes through. That's one of your biggest. I feel like that's one of your biggest sort of shines through social media. Not only is it like your hustle, but it's like being a dad.
Yeah.
You're really good at.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's. I think also trying to fill that void of what I didn't get as a kid.
Yep.
That's a big thing.
Yep.
And then the other thing is we've got to start building little motherfuckers because look at the world they're facing.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
They've got to be hands on with these kids. Like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, it's just.
They have to be taught the right fucking
Yeah.
way.
Just common sense.
That's
Or
it.
not taught. Think for yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. But you need to be told that
Yeah.
as a young one.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a big
Otherwise-
thing with kids. Like, kids, like, man, no, that's just, Like, I know, as I said, it's like a bit of a fragments of my shit that I put so much time into my kids because I love my kids so much. And it's just, And I think having a daughter first, like when I had Aria, like that really, as a man, like when you're a dude and you have a daughter first,
With your past,
correct.
hit you hard.
Yeah. Like when it's your little girl, like it's like, I will fucking go to war, cunt.
Yeah.
Like with anything that, like, I
Yeah.
mean, like it just straight away. I'm so glad I had a daughter first. And I say that to everyone wants a boy first. Like, oh yeah, we'll ride dirt bikes and we'll do this and we'll
Yep,
do that.
yep, yep.
But when you have a daughter first, it teaches you compassion, teaches you how to love.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And straight away, that quick flip, you learn how to mold that down. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
That is a good way of putting, because I think if you did have the son first, you just got a son, and it's going out the back where you sort of slow down a little bit.
100%. And with like, you know what I mean? Like we get his mat out and we play cars and he's into monster trucks and bikes and planes and like he's a fucking little boy. You know what I mean? Whereas having a daughter first, it really just taught me compassion, how to love, like, and you understand, like, if you're a dude and you're like 20 to 25 and like you're meeting girls and blah, blah, blah. And if you have like a kid at that time, if you can figure out a girl, like a young girl and they're fucking like this and that, like it's just a learning curve for later on in life. You know what I mean? For women, like it's just, So I'm glad I had a daughter first. And I think that's the thing that also as a father, like really made me step it up.
Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, 100%. But that daughter thing was just a big, it was a wake up call, as I said. When you're a dude, you just learn that compassion straight away for the kid. Like it's just it's a different love. Sounds weird, but I love her in a different way than I love Laker. I love them the same. But there's a different feeling towards her and him. Like he's like with your child, your daughter, you're like straight away. It's like first instinct, like you're a protector.
Yes.
Like you're the role model, you're the protector. Like that is your princess.
Yep.
And then with your son, it's like that's the prince. Like that's the next come up. Like that's the son. Like I'll probably go harder on you than her in a sense.
Yep.
But I just think that's why a lot of people. Oh, he's ripped his pants on the bike.
Just realised now. Oh,
It was either the firework or that. But yeah, I don't know. Kids is a huge thing. I just think if you have kids and you can't get your shit together,
Yeah,
More so
I see
don't
that
want
too.
to get your shit together. It's a
Correct.
decision,
Yeah,
man. It's
fucking
like
oath,
you either
mate.
want to do it or you fucking don't.
Yeah.
and if you don't want to
That's
get
it.
your shit together and you got kids, stay away from
Yes.
Saturday life. Leave them be. Let them do like if they've got a good mother or a mother
Yeah.
figure or whatever. Let them run it up. Let them do what needs to be done. Raise them kids. Do what it is. Don't come in and out and be a blowfly and change this and change that or make the mum's life hard because you want to carry on like a peanut.
Yeah.
Like either step up to the plate, even if you're not in a relationship with the mother at the time, etc. like that. Step
Yep.
up to the plate, get it done,
Yeah.
or get out of picture, bro. Like
Or fuck off because
Yeah.
you're just creating havoc.
correct, yeah. And the only person that's going to get hammered is the kid.
Yep.
Yeah.
Been there.
I was going to say you're a perfect example of that.
Exact-
So
yeah.
that's you've sort of got the legs to stand on to say that shit.
100%.
It's almost like just fuck off. Don't like half-ass it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just like a
100%.
tease,
But, man,
really.
my old man commented out that many times when I was a young kid. Like,
Yep.
yeah, like I was ridiculous.
True.
And that's also on my mum's accord, but too. Like she should have played the fucking game.
Of-
You know what I mean?
yeah.
But she always thought he was going to change this and that.
Of course.
Yeah. He
Like
come in-
any relationship,
Yeah.
you know, you're hoping for change, or if there is something that's not right and they're telling you that they're going to clean their act up, they're going to do something.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
I have to
I'll
try and
give you the
believe 'em.
chance. So that's
Yeah.
time, and then
And it can be done because a lot of people say it can't, and it fucking me and Oprah are a prime example.
yeah, of course it can.
Yeah.
You mean we're a prime example? Like, yeah, we split up, we spent some time apart, both went off the fucking rails.
Yep.
Both got our shit together, got back together, got it all sorted, and now we're the most.
I was
best
going to
we've
say,
ever been.
you can see, like, I don't know April from a bar of soap. I know you well enough over the times we've met, but you can see on social media, like the love, like
Yeah,
what you
yeah,
guys
yeah,
have
yeah.
got.
Yeah.
Like, there's something special between you.
100%.
Yeah. And it's not sort of like you can see straight through like put on shit to, you know what I mean, like doing it for the gram or just genuinely like that's a vibe.
You've also got to have that woman, but that is that like that ride or die.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
They got to be down.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like a lot of dudes don't promote their missuses because their missus is probably,
I can't.
yeah, you know what I mean? They probably have no sex life. They
They
fucking
probably
they're-
think that their partner's a fucking idiot.
They're on Instagram all the time and that. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, if you've actually got a partner that's invested into you and you're both on the same playing field and you're like, she would back me with anything. I could tell her right now, I'm going to close Fatal and I'm going to go train dolphins. I've got this newfound passion. I want to train dolphins. And she'd be like, you're a fucking spastic. But
I'll back
every
you up.
time I've proven that I wanted to do something, I've ran it up and I've done it. And I've done it to a high standard. She'd be like, whatever.
Yep.
When, are we moving
You've
to
got
sea-
this.
when are we moving to SeaWorld? You know what I mean? And when you have a bitch like that, like I shouldn't say, but when you have a female like that, like, and your partner's like that, and she'd like ride like this, yeah.
Yep.
So, but as I said, like, a lot of people say people break up. Like, we were a testament of it. You mean, like, yeah, we went through a couple of years of real bad shit and
Yep.
got it back sorted, and
Yep.
like that's now not even a thought. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Fuck yeah, that's good shit.
And that shit does happen when you're young and you're dumb, and
Of course.
you know the rough waters hit. But when you can fucking sail away on the smooth waters when you're old enough and fucking
Nothing smooth, but nothing
It's
make
comparing.
smooth. Nothing. Yeah, I know,
comparing.
but that like obviously that was drastic. The shit we went through.
Yeah.
But like even now when we have issues and that, like it's good because we can usually work through an issue together and make shit happen and things like
And
that.
I
Like,
guess that's what I
yeah.
mean by saying, like, you know, the waters were that rough. You now kind of got to a point like when you're in a relationship, you're never going to have a year that you just don't butt heads or come together. But you obviously now can control and deal with those situations a whole lot fucking easier.
Think back to, and it like weirdly off topic, or not off topic, but think back to like all the movies and that they portray of like back in like Spartan Roman days and all that type of shit. You know what I mean? Like it was always kings and gods and things like that. But it was always the females that would sort of like be the protector or give the command and you know what I mean things like that. Like the men, like you know what I mean. Like women played a big role back then because obviously men feed off emotion and shit like that. And whereas women, you know what I mean, if you got the right women and they're twigged on, they clicked on, they want the best for you. They want the best for the family. They want the best for the offspring.
Yep.
And they're rational thinkers.
Yes.
We ain't.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? Most women are rational thinkers, you know what I mean, and they can sort of foresee things and and that's why if you back your partner and they back you.
Yep.
And I can say 100%, man, because I'm in that position now and have found like a fucking absolute gem of a chick. And yeah, same deal. Like, even though it's been, small amount of time comparing to you guys and what you're talking about, but you can just tell, like, that they're willing to fucking back you. Everything that, that they're not about themselves. They're about you more so. Like, you can see that it's
which is
rare,
very hard to find
rare
these
and
days.
hard to find, man.
But it's also about giving back. Like, one thing I do,
yes.
like give about, like, so April obviously works for the business. She's paid through the business and that.
Yeah.
Like, April's biggest goal is that she's always wanted to be, like, just a solid mum. Because she comes from a broken home as well, and she had issues with her dad and a whole big story and that sort of thing. And that's why I could never sort of get it through my head that was just her mentality. I'm like, but I want to conquer the world.
Yes.
I want to do everything. How do you just want to raise kids?
Yep.
And then once I got it, and once we got back together and all these other sort of things happen, and now that's why she gets that opportunity to do that. And I'm blessed in the sense that I know that she gets to do what she wants to do because she's raising the kids and she's there full time for the kids.
Yep.
But also, my kids are getting raised by her.
Yes.
So I know she has a backbone and she wants the best for them kids too.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And then like straight away, like I have the confidence in her. She has the confidence in me. And
Yes,
it's
it's
just,
vice versa.
So I think a lot of dudes do need to start actually promoting and showing their, like, you don't have to promote and show your missus off on social media like it's a flex.
No.
But if you got a chick that's raising your kids, does right by you, you get through things, you work together and stuff like that. Like,
show
give
the
her,
love, bro.
correct. Give her a bit more of a shout out, give her a bit more of appreciation, and you'd be surprised what you get back in return.
Don't be the hide behind, like, oh fuck, I wonder what these people are going to think. Oh, I'm going to look like a fucking this, or look like, who gives a fuck? If she's good by you, fucking promote the fuck out of that.
100%.
Do you know what the problem is though? Most aren't. You're lucky as fuck. Most
Like
dudes are
chicks.
stuck in these fucking hardcore traps.
Of course,
of this
man. Yeah,
bitch
because
has
they're
me by
fucked
the
up,
balls.
and now they're going. I want to get out, but I can't get out. And it's like, well, that's on you, man. You're fucked up.
But I do still think, I think talking about it and bringing it up is a good thing because it's, for me, I see it for like your kid, your daughter. You want her to also be that sort of woman.
Yeah, 100%.
You don't want her to just be a fucking, I deserve everything, I'm a princess, you give it to me. Because, bro, they're fucking, no, you don't want them.
Yeah, no. Like, me and April are, like, super affectionate in that, like, even with how long we've been together. And, that. And the kids see that. I want them to see that. Because I never seen that as a kid. I never seen my old man and my mum ever. Like,
And it took you what you went through, the shit times to realise that, to be able to provide that.
Bro, I used to think girls were a game.
100%.
Back in the day, like, it was just like you.
Next.
Yeah, I mean, and that's why now, like, that's why, as I said, like, with the affection, let the kids see it like that. But like, this is normal. This is what like a male and a female relationship's meant to be like. They coexist, they talk, they communicate, like blah blah blah.
Sometimes we don't get along.
Yeah.
But when that happens, we fucking resolve.
110%.
Was that hard for you to do? Are you a what's where we were just talking about? Fuck, I've just gone blank. What's the
emotion?
Yeah, but when you show like affection.
Affection.
Were you an affectionate person, or did you have to like you have to find that within yourself once you got going better?
Probably once you had kids, it just come.
Yeah,
in that sense, yeah.
Yep.
Males can always be affectionate if they want something.
Remember that, ladies. Remember that.
Yeah, like,
Stop letting our secrets go, man. For fuck's sake.
You're so pretty. Give me a hug.
It's actually funny you say with the kids because once I had a daughter, I really did learn how to become more affectionate.
Man.
You do, you know what I mean? You got a little girl and you're doing her hair, and you mean like I'd pick Ari's outfits and things like that. So yes, but no, I think if you're in the right relationship with the right person and there's the right chemistry there, whether it's it has to be both, but like mentally and physically, you just want to be affectionate. You know what I mean? And that's the other thing. Like some of these dudes that, like they don't touch their missus or vice versa and things like that. And it's like, man, like.
Yeah,
like it's just
like that's like you know what I find like that whole joke of like having had a root and banging. Well, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What you need to talk to each other, like, and if that's the case, is she over here rooting? What's going on?
Nah, but it's all right because I do a fucking big day at work, come home and there's dinner's on the table.
Nah,
nah, man.
My missus, Abel's
Not good enough.
Abel's going to kill me for saying this. I have a thing I say jokingly to her, and if I go in a time frame where I don't get anything, I'll go. I'm a provider. I'm a male. I have needs.
Still to this day.
To this day.
And she's obviously well aware of that, and if she's not, she's now. But
No, she's well aware. Like, we have a very intimate, physical relationship.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
and that's
yeah,
great.
yeah.
But like, that's
Yeah.
the thing. Like, as a male, as a provider, as someone that's high drive, I'm fucking high drive.
Yeah.
Like, my head. Sometimes you get this. People hop my head and be like, "Hop in here for an hour and a half." They'll be like, "Get me off this ride."
Yeah.
Like, I've always been high drive, and I've always been like that. And it's just, there's
Yeah.
But that tick's still in you. You want to.
100%. I'm high. I think that's a male thing.
Yeah.
And look at all these males that don't have sex with their partners or aren't in a physical, intimate relationship. They're usually overweight. They're at work. They hate their job.
Yep.
Then you look at people that have excelled in their fields, whether they're business owners or sports stars and things like that. Usually
They'd be
they're
fucking.
And
they talk about it.
They're proud about it. They have
Exactly.
the fucking missus under their arm.
Exactly.
They're not
Yeah.
shy to
You know what I mean?
fucking.
And she's
all of
happy
it.
because she's getting dick down, and and she's happy with it, and
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
So I think, how did creation happen? Adam and Eve, what'd they do?
They fucked.
He banged her. So we were, and literally, when you insert into a female and it brings life. So it was like meant to happen, you know what I mean? And then you see on these like these Facebook pages, like blokes of us, and that, like, "Oh, guys, don't want to be with the missus for 9 months and we've had no intimacy." I'm like, brother, not 9 days, and I'm on OnlyFans with some other girl sending it to her. Like, have the house, have the kids. You know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, you've got to be a dude and step up to the plate. If you're stepping up to the plate and you're doing the right thing by your missus with home, work, kids, and things like that, she wants to bang you.
Fucking oath. I
Yeah,
agree on
that's
too.
that 100%.
Yeah.
She's sitting there looking back, going, "Fuck, I threw off on
Yeah,
that."
Exactly.
Like, this
If
is
you're
so
looking
sick.
after her, you can communicate. You look after your kids. You do well. You're doing your alpha male duties or whatever you want to call it.
Your
as
part.
best you can.
Yeah.
She wants to mate with you. Look at every animal in the wild. As soon as they find an alpha that's in the pack that's holding its own, they want to mate.
So the key to that is, if you ain't getting sex, your missus ain't India and you ain't working hard
I was going
enough.
to say, you're doing
Like,
fuck
you're
all.
a fucking loser.
If not, exactly. Do more for yourself, and then at the end of the day, if you do more for yourself and you do really well, and you get yourself in better physical health, or you're better at communicating with her, or you start doing date nights, or just showing her more affection, she's still not interested. Go smell the roses. Go see what else out there.
Yeah.
Because there's probably some other girl that's, especially like if you're middle-aged or late, that's gone through shit.
Yep.
That never had that. You look like a lotto ticket.
Yes.
Like shit. And then eventually the other one will go, what did I give up?
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, but it's a thing like I just do, as I said, going back to, I think men need to start showing their missuses more and really,
100%.
and you don't have to show it off and be a flex or anything like that, but just give a bit of appreciation. If you've got a missus at raising your kids and she works a job herself and she's doing this and she's doing that, she puts up with your shit. My missus puts up, look what I'm like here. 20 minutes, we're throwing, like, you mean? She comes to summer nats with me and she's just like, I was like, how can we go to jail today?
I've literally sort of been around the times where you sort of done your little thing and ran off, and I've even looked at her and she's just gone like, fuck me.
And she's been dealing with that since I was a kid, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? She knows that, but she knows when it's go mode and it's work mode and it's home mode and that, like I step up to the plate as much as I can in every aspect.
Yep. Fucking oath.
So
That's fucking,
yeah.
that's some good shit.
That's some good blokes advice there.
yeah, isn't it?
man,
Yeah, boys,
Fuck
fucking
yeah.
check
And
yourselves.
I think the other thing too is men just need to get their shit together with the way the world's going.
yeah.
100%. Man.
Yep.
But men, I feel, and the generations that are stepping up, now need to grab a hold of their fucking nuts.
Oh,
Yeah.
we are weak.
in an overall
Just, yeah,
sense, man.
Men are weak as piss.
Like, fuck
You know,
yeah.
and that almost goes back down to that, like, it's that weird fine, like it's been warped a bit, like happy wife, happy life. And that's that same sort of mentality. It's like, yeah, you're saying that, but you haven't had a root in 6 months, cunt.
Yeah, but most of
So
them
she's not happy.
Most of their misses aren't happy anyway.
They're not.
That's
They're-
sort of what I'm saying. It's like, it's this facade of like, yeah, I'm just bringing in the bacon every day. But it's like, you're not actually doing enough. Like, you're not, if she doesn't wait for you and be like, fuck yeah, like you've fucking done a fucking hard week this week. I want some.
It's got to be both ways, but
I was going to say
Yeah.
that they can also hold the card too.
Correct.
Yeah, there can be
And-
men out there that have right now that can listen to this going, dude, I'm great with my kids, I'm hands-on. You mean I'm not a fat blob?
Yep.
I work,
yeah.
You don't have to own your own business. Like if you're just a
Yeah.
entrepreneur and you work well at your business
Either
and you do
either.
this, and she just doesn't want to give it up and she wants to watch Netflix and all this type of shit and she's not interested, she's scrolling on her phone. It's like,
And it's a consistent
that's-
thing.
yeah.
It's
And
like,
if you communicate
fuck,
it with her
man.
and she's not interested,
Yes.
I seen a thing the other day and it was this dude commenting on one of these things and he's like, I figured it out, fellas. He's like, anytime my missus that I've been with for a long time, she sees me like, they go out to a pub or something and another chick talks to him.
Yep.
And he starts talking back and being a bit flirty. He goes, I get laid.
Yep.
And he's like, it's almost like as soon as she sees that there's another
There's
female
competition
that's
out there.
Exactly. It's like,
Which going back, that's why they ain't rooting them because you're a loser. You don't.
Yeah.
You're not competition, bro.
yeah, correct. Yeah.
Like be the competition.
Yeah.
You need, women always have a choice.
Yep.
From the age of girl 16,
Yep.
as long as you're half decent looking or whatever,
Yep.
you have a choice. You can bang any male you want.
Fucking oath.
As a male, you have to, like, even as I was a drug dealer in the hood, bro, I was always fresh. I had the nicest shoes, the nicest clothes, everything.
But you had to have that to have the fucking female.
Correct. I had that swag. I had that flair to it.
Yes.
Whereas with men, like, if you come to the table as a man, you don't really have much to offer. You don't get to pick, dude.
Nah.
Do you think Andrew Tate walks in and worries about who he's going to pick? It's like there's 15 girls and then go, you hate women. I'll suck your dick. You know what I mean? Like, I'll suck your dick for a bag. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like dudes like that have, so once you're at that level and you know what I mean?
And I think a weird one too with women too. Like you go deep with like tribal shit, and like from what, like women are literally used to being stolen. Like when the big fucking tribe comes in and takes over this tribe, right? You're all weak men, but the bitches are coming with us.
Women were actually,
They have to
but
just-
they were more designed to survive.
Yeah.
Because when it's war, men go to war.
Yeah. They,
Women don't. Women
We're
stay,
here
look
still
after the
doing-
kids. And that sometimes none of them come back. Some of them, a couple of them come. You mean like that?
Yeah.
That's I think like just the moral of the story is if you've got a good bitch in your corner, like actually back her, communicate with her, and realize that
And fucking show it off a bit.
100%. Yeah.
Make her feel good that, you know, he's not shy to show me off, or, you know, he's not embarrassed, or whatever it fucking may be that goes through their head. You have to really fucking prove that and show that, you know, they are top tier.
And it's one of them
in your
things too,
eyes.
like if you go out and start putting more time into yourself and getting yourself in shape or doing this and that,
Yep.
she'll usually pick up on it and she'll want to do the same.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, and you see them transformations with couples, you mean, that are morbidly obese and then like 4 years later they're both ripped and jacked and you know what I mean, things like that. Like, yeah. I just think, women play a big role in that aspect that a lot of these alpha males forget about. And it's like, bro, when you come into trouble, 3 of your mates will probably fold. She probably won't.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
like
She
a real bird
Not
will
probably.
stand
She
there.
won't
She
fold.
will be there.
And she'll raise your kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whether you mean you got to go do what you got to do or this or that or whatever. I just, But that all comes back again full circle, having a daughter first. That was the compassion.
Like
the trigger,
woke you up a bit, so I'll just hit you.
Just as a man when you have a kid, a daughter.
Yep.
Yeah. Like it's just.
Big.
I could only imagine.
Yeah, fucking tell me about it.
Keep practicing. It'll happen.
Yeah, like, hey, I'm not sitting here going, I can only imagine because it's never going to happen. But, like, it's like up to date right now. I can only fucking imagine.
Practice.
Right now, I'm practicing.
Been practicing.
I'm practicing, don't worry.
Yeah, pull out game. What else have we got? I do have a fucking few random fucking questions here that I was just thinking of last night. Going on to your detailing thing. This is just some detailing shit. I'll knock these out. What do you prefer working on, old cars or new cars, and why? And is there a difference?
Oh, there's always a massive difference. It doesn't really phase me in that sense. It's more the preserving and like the preservation of something and making it visually appear its best.
Yep.
I obviously like working on like the muscle cars, the high-end cars, the show cars, the unveiled cars and shit like that.
Race cars.
Yeah. And I cop a heap. There's a heap of just shitheads. Like you don't catch me on the detail pages and things like that. Like that industry as a whole. Like I stand back. I'm like, at the end of the day, let the numbers do the talking.
Yep.
Let's run it up on the board. Where's the numbers? Who's got the numbers? Who's doing what? Who's done this? Who's done that? That's credentials is what proves it. But I like going down that route and doing that type. It doesn't really matter. Like this week at work, we had one of them weeks where we were just doing like maintenances and trash trims and stuff like that. As much as I know, the boys sort of hated it, and I always hate it. It takes me back to the trenches. That's how my business started.
Man.
Yeah, bro, like ripping dog hair out and
And
like
only you can appreciate that.
Yeah.
correct. Like it's the trenches thing. But yeah, I like. It doesn't really matter in that sense. Like, it doesn't faze me in that sense. The only thing I do hate, and I'll bring it up because I've heard people say this and it makes me laugh because it's always the wannabes. But you hear the people going, oh, he only does show cars or he only does this or he only does that, right? Now, that might be correct. You mean we might only do high-end cars or unveil high-end cars that you mean if blah, blah, blah. But when you have cars like that are going to Motorex, Summer Nats, Motor Classica, things like that, do you know what them cars are going there for?
To look good.
To be scrutinised.
Yeah.
To be judged.
Yes.
So when people go, oh, they only do show cars or high-end cars and this and that, and it's like, that's cool, bro, because it's going there. It's going to be picked apart by 9 judges, and it's going to have 200,000 people walk over it for 4 days.
Yeah.
And knowing that I done it, they're looking for a fuck-up.
Yeah.
They're looking for a fuck-up because he's put his name on that. He stamped that.
Yep.
The judges are looking for it. The 200,000 people that walk through the gates for 3 days are looking for it.
They've all got their fucking...
But then you got the dudes that are doing the car that are taking a picture of it in the bay that it's Kerry's friggin' Everest that she's going to drive to the supermarket going, oh, he doesn't know what he's doing. The real detailers are over here. It's like, bro, put your work on the stage. Let's judge it. And let's actually...
Yeah, word.
And I've run that number that many times now and had these cars out there. Like, we've already got unveils for someone that's next year. Now locked in. You know what I mean? It's like, that's one thing I hate is the people when they... Like, if I come in here and said, oh, my mate does Ferrari Concourse cars and he's done well at Ferrari... You'd be like, oh, yeah, but he only does show cars. It's like, it's Ferrari Concourse. It gets picked apart. It's judged.
Yeah.
Like, when they're getting judged and scrutinised, yeah, they might come in at a better standard, but the 1% shit needs to be dialed. You can't miss the 1% shit. And I'm not talking, oh, it just looks good on the outside. Like, it has to be, they open everything. They look at everything.
Man.
And then you've got everyone walking past it, staring at it, going, and this might not have anything to do with the detailing side of it, but, oh, I don't like how that sits on the car. Or I don't like how that sits on the car. Or I don't like the way they've done that. Obviously, that's got nothing to do with me.
Yep.
But everything
didn't
gets
build it,
everything gets scrutinised. So that's one thing I hate. They're always like, oh, they only do high-end cars or muscle cars. It's like, yeah, because we get picked apart on them on the biggest stages by everyone. Whereas you're posting shit on Instagram that Kerry's going to take to the supermarket and no one's going to see that car ever again. But you're the best.
But at the same
Ask
time,
anyone, they'll tell you.
Same time too, Jimmy, you're doing all of that and all the above. Can Janet in a Mazda 3 come and see you for a detail?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so
Like we do everything.
Yeah.
But we do everything in that sense. So like we cover all the bases, but obviously I love that
of course.
pressure.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
like Summer Nats for me. Obviously, everyone knows what I'm like at Summer Nats. You know what I mean, like, I'll stand on the roof of your car, throw fireworks up, and rip your gearbox out, and scream at the same time. And everyone loves it. You know what I mean? But
Fuck, I'd love to see that. Just cunt ripping a gearbox out while he's on the roof. What? How have you done that?
Through the sunroof.
but at the same time, leading up to things like that, it's the Super Bowl for me.
Yeah, of course.
You
That's
know what I mean, like, it's game day. Like, we're ripping covers off. We've got cars there on display. People
And
are taking
especially
photos.
when you've worked your fucking ass off with not just one, but multiple cars that are going to be picked apart.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Proper.
We've had 2 cars go to Motor Classica. No, a car and a bike. And Motor Classica is like pretty hard judging stuff wise. Like I haven't gone myself when the cars are there because I think they'll visually make a decision by looking at me because it's a whole different demographic, a lot older. We've had 2 cars go there, and a car and a bike go there, both won.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think, like you're saying too, that comes from doing Tracy's fucking Navara.
Yeah.
That's these people are sitting here still doing Tracy's Navaras, going, "Oh, he fucking does all that." It's because you've done the work to get up here.
Yeah. And I've been lucky. I
You're in
won't
a
say
scene.
lucky. I've created my own opportunity.
Fucking
actually.
oath you
So I
have.
won't say I've been lucky. I've created my own opportunity. I have the confidence in myself to say that shit now. Like, people say this, blah, 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 in detail, and I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah,
Like, back it up.
Your
Like, as I
stripes,
said,
man.
that's why I like going away with the drag racing, because with the drag racing, and I've only sort of commented on that last 2 years.
Yep.
But with drag racing, you win or you lose.
Yes.
There's no fucking judge. There's no draw. There's no third party. There's no nothing.
Yep.
Whoever
one,
crosses
cross
the
that
line first and doesn't break the red light, you win.
Yep.
That's it. So numbers don't lie. That's why in that category, that sport, numbers don't lie.
Yep.
That's why when it comes to people running their businesses, what community have they built? What credentials have they done? What opportunities have they made? Like,
Yep.
what have they done? This,
Yep.
this, and this. Numbers don't lie.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Whereas I can sit there and be like a nobody and have done a couple of nice cars and be like, yeah, you know, we're premier this and premier that and this and that, and
Yep.
professional
Yep.
this. And it's like, Well, get up on the big stage and rub shoulders. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see how you go.
You can sell
You know what I mean?
yourself as much as you want, but until you've got the fucking proof sitting there and you've done
It's
something.
like the local kid that's kicking goals here and doing really well here, but it's like, yeah, no, I was meant to play in the AFL.
Yeah.
So why didn't you?
Yeah. Because you just weren't good enough.
Or you didn't or you didn't take the opportunity and actually rest your nuts out there and have a crack.
Yeah, work hard enough, whatever it may be.
Yeah. Or just take the opportunity and put your nuts out there, like, and be afraid to fuck up.
Lose the opportunity. Like, but
I've lost that now. Like, I know, again, it's not a confidence ego thing. Like, it's just I know I could lose it all tomorrow.
Yep.
I'll figure out a way. I literally had a conversation with a kid the other day. He called me up, one detail advice. This cooks me wig. And I'm like, here, I'd do this. And I'm like, I'd do this, and this. And he's like, oh, yeah. And then literally I, like, hung up the phone. I thought about it for 10 minutes. I was like, fuck, I could do that. I could make that work. Like, and it was basic. And I'm like, I could literally roll 4 or 5 grand in a week doing that. If this all went south for some reason and I just had to go do this, I could do that, promote it, work it, do my own marketing, do this, and I could make it work, and I could actually make that into a profitable business like that.
Yep.
That's why now I don't have the fear of...
Yeah. I think, and I guess probably running up the hill with you in different lanes, but I feel like we've both been pretty...
100%.
Like coming up, learning at the same fucking time. So like that does make, like how many years summer nats are you deep now? Like how many nats have you done?
Not that many. Not a whole lot. No, I
was going to say,
maybe
didn't
5.
I reckon
5 or 6.
Yeah.
That's still,
So
that's enough to be like,
I will have...
I'm doing this.
Between Motorex and Summer Nats this January coming up, I've had 12 unveils in 8 years. And we've had 7 front covers. I had 2 front covers of Street Machine last year. I only do 12 covers a year and I had 2.
That's fucking, just that in it, like...
From Wodonga.
People don't...
Yeah.
That's huge. Like that's fucking massive.
And that's why people go, so egotistical, it's this and that. And it's like, man, when you get into business, I always remember like my first front cover, I was like, that's sick.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, let's just keep running them.
Yeah, keep going.
Like,
keep pushing.
unveils, like, that was just something that, did 1 or 2. I was like, this is sick. And now coming up to this Nats, it'll be, I think it'll be a 10th or 11th unveils between the pair.
Yeah.
So, and that's not including just other unveils like Aussie Vicklers, did a couple for them last year and stuff like that. Like, So, but now again, I'm obviously got that hunger now and I'm trying to go down that content route.
Well, I'm glad you sort of brought that up because that was going to be my next sort of thing. You've when we first met, you had a filmer in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Now you are literally out there getting paid to go out and film drags and shit now, yeah?
Yeah.
And that's come from just you being good on your page, yeah? Technically, you were just like your content you were doing for your Fatal stuff. Those people seen it and were like, "We want you." Is that how that came about, or were you just in the right place at the right time and you said, "I'll do that"?
All it really come down to is obviously I was getting help out with the content, and then just whatever that situation was. Like there was no fallout, no love lost, no nothing. Just stopped coming in and had issues and did our own thing. And my business was obviously pumping with content and video and stuff like that. Went and picked up a camera. Because my business still had to run.
Yeah.
And it was based on content. It's based on showing off our work, showcasing our work, making it engaging. I had to step up. So I stepped up, started playing with the camera.
And then you needed the equipment to make what you were making look good in real life to then transfer it so everybody else could fucking see it.
Correct. But like the editing side, that's the hardest. Like learning that. But then I'm not a creative genius in that sense. Like someone like yourself, you mean? Look at the joint. I just want to put a firework in and walk away. You know what I mean? Like I'm not a creative genius like that.
Just burn
but
everything.
It's more the fact too. I think also it works so well for me with cars because I visually stare at cars all the time, and I always visually try and look at a car and the way it appeals. I always look for that, the body lines, the curves, and things like that. You do that for a long time of years. All I got to do, put the camera where my eyes are,
and you see
capture it, and then roll it together. And then that's when I started picking up the editing, and I was like, once I got my head around it, and I was dumb because I started DaVinci Resolve straight away, which is
right.
I mean, like, they still make movies with the shit.
And
like that rolled me straight away to learn that. But then that's when that come in. Also, all these guys out there, like you've got to brand yourself, you've got to market yourself, you got to do this, you got to do that. A lot of these people are out there paying other people to do it. We do it all in house. And then I obviously started doing it for other people, and they were like, "This shit slaps." You You know what I mean? And then it just captures.
Yep.
And now that's something that we want to heavily integrate into the business now is like content, but like content for other people, like drags, skids. I want to start doing business content soon. Like people that are like,
Yeah, that's
building
building
that-
popping hard. At the
and
moment,
building
man.
like, I'll help brand your business, build some swag behind it, do this, do that.
Doesn't matter what kind of business.
Yeah, I'll pick and choose because I don't need to do that.
Yeah,
You know
of
what I mean?
course.
But like it'd be
But
more,
it'd be all motorsport based.
yeah, motorsport based or like things like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? People that I obviously have a connection with. Like if
yeah.
Darren comes in, you mean he's makes, I don't know, fucking like does houses or something like.
Yes.
Yeah, I could do it, but I'm probably not going to be heavily engaged in it.
Yeah, you
And no
couldn't
one really
really
wants
give
to
a
see.
fuck.
Yeah, and no, I wouldn't be engaged into the point where I really want to produce a result for him. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like, and no one wants to see a house at it with like young Dolph playing or something. You know what I mean, I'll be like, yeah, you're gonna sell this in the hood, like, because
Or
that's
someone
my
that's come from the hood.
exactly.
That's
Like
just
that's my
fallen into bits
style.
of
Like
money.
that's my style. That'll slap.
Yeah.
But like where like people that are doing automotive businesses and things like that, it's like, hey, like you mean if you've got talent and you put the effort in, like I can help grow your thing, do this, do that.
Yep.
Yeah, like that's something that I want to go down that path. My ultimate goal, and you're gonna love this. 'Cause I've only spoken about this to a few people.
fucking let us have it.
This would be a good reel just on its own because this is my ultimate goal of what I want to do in life. My ultimate goal. I want to be the Gordon Ramsay of detailing.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I want to have a state-of-the-art facility that I can do training and content and stuff like that from.
And just get angry and swear in there all the time.
I'm all for that.
I then want to be able to get paid to go to other people's shops, show them from a detailing side of things, what I would do, how I would do it, but then also do that from a business side of things in the culture in their business.
Yep.
Like, hey, that dude there, he said he's been here 3 years. He got to fucking go.
Yep.
He's ruining the culture. You've got two other people here that aren't as experienced as him, but they're ready to pull the trigger and go.
Yep.
Put more time and effort, or just do that, help them. There'll be some really good success stories.
Yep.
There'll be some other ones that'll be like, brother, close the door and go back and work in the
Yeah.
factory.
Yep.
But I then film the whole thing and put it in together, and then people watch it.
Fuck yeah.
Like I've always just like the Gordon Ramsay of detailing. I've
It's a
always
fucking
thought,
Netflix series.
Yeah, no,
That's-
there is. There's
you know what I mean?
potential.
But
in
then
that
have
shit.
my own facility where people can come there and be taught
Yeah.
business stuff. Like I'm not going to say I'm a business, but you mean I've sort of figured out things are working.
You've done enough.
Things are working.
Yeah.
So, and
You know what
it's not just if you were to do this and go along with it, it's not just fucking people that want to do detailing.
In what aspect? What do you mean?
Like with how you saying teaching,
Yeah,
showing,
yeah.
like it's just
Yeah.
the overall. in
I'd more
business
focus on that.
sense.
No, I'd more focus on that detailing side of
Okay,
things.
yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah.
if someone comes in and goes, "Hey, like I want to be like an electrician," I'll be like,
Well, I can't help you there.
Yeah.
"Nah," you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
more like, "Hey, look, I'm coming in detail now. I've got 2 workers. It's not really working." Or best one would be like each year, like people call me and go, "Hey, I've got 2 guys going to summer nights. You've done a heap, doing unveils. Cool. I'll come in for a week.
Yep.
We'll film it all. I'll work with your team. I'll work with you on the car. I'll show you what we'll do on the car, how we present it, how we do this,
Yeah.
see what your team's like, see why this isn't working or what
Working.
could be better with it.
Yeah.
And then, put that into a video,
Yeah.
and then people would sit there and watch it.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
They take from it. And it's a win-win.
Yeah, 100%.
It
And
is.
and also
unless you're really shit and you're gonna have to turn around and go, close the doors, brother. This is a
Exactly.
fuck fest in here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but it is what it is. But at the end of the day, that still makes good content.
but
for
it's
the
good
viewer.
for me because I want to see people win.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're
Because I'll
you'll
come
still
there and I'll be
push
like,
it.
"Hey, are you prepared to do this, and this to win?" They're like, "Oh no, I'm pretty easy." But like, "Cool, go."
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this is how I would do it. Try it for a bit, see if it works. If it doesn't bounce.
Yep.
But like do this, like I said, like I might walk into an environment where I'll be like, yeah, like old mate over there, like this young kid over here, you've got him washing cars and he's trying to do this, and this, or this young kid over here, he's not really invested into this, but you're paying $1,500 for a videographer to come every week to do photos and reels and that.
Yep.
This kid's already doing TikToks and cap cuts and things like that. Give him a little bit more free reign in the shop to run your social media. And then 6 months later, they're like, our social's popping. He's making a full-time wage in here just doing our socials.
Yep.
Bang.
Yep.
There's marketing. There's growth.
Yep.
There's,
Yep.
So
That's fucking cool.
I think, I've just had this like random Gordon Ramsay.
No, that's,
Like,
and
and
it's a
it'd
good way
be cool
put
to
it
travel.
too. Yeah.
Cool to travel. Someone's in Perth. Hey, man, can you come over here for 2
yeah.
weeks? We're having difficulties with the shop, or can you show us how to do this, this,
Yep.
and this? Go over there. film
And
it,
like that's
document it.
Aussie. Like if this pops, you fucking go anywhere, cunt. I think there's
travel,
fucking
man.
details in every country, and
Yeah.
they're probably doing it weird
And,
ways.
and again, back to what I was saying earlier, I got some numbers on the board.
Yeah.
You got people that doing training and shit down the detail in the industry. It's like,
Who are you?
What have you done?
I don't care if you got 12 years experience. I don't care if you got fucking 20 years experience. And people are going to get butthurt over this.
Yep.
Don't put your experience down as your credentials.
Yep.
What have you done?
Yeah, show.
That'd be like me saying, I've been
show-
kicking a Sheridan, a football, for 32 years.
Doesn't
I just
mean-
kick it at the paddock with the boys. I play resis. You know what I mean? It's like, if you're going to, like, yeah, you might have a couple of
You
things.
might have a good kick.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
Yeah.
else you got?
Yeah, but like that's what I mean. Like if you're gonna go through training and things like that, go through people that have credentials or you know what I mean. Oh, prime example: if someone come up to me and said, "Hey, I want to be a multimillionaire," I'd be like, "Yeah, sick. I'll show you how to do it." Blah blah blah. I'll show you how to do this. And then the other person, someone like Adrian Portelli. Who are you backing?
I'm definitely going to
Yeah.
talk to Adrian about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, and I even know that he obviously doesn't have the experience because he's only young still in that.
Yep.
He got numbers on the board.
Yeah.
You got numbers everywhere, and that's what I look at. I hate when it's like 42 years experience.
Yeah.
Cool,
Yep.
but what have you done?
Yes. In those 42 years.
Because if
Correct.
you've
Like,
done the
you
same thing year after year, like you haven't progressed at all.
Correct.
You're just doing the same shit.
Like I could have entered in and done 5 years worth of what that person had been doing for 42 years and matched his,
Fuck yeah.
you know, I'm equal to him now.
Mate,
within
there's
just
people
5
out there
years.
that talk shit on me that have got these 15 to 20 years experience.
Yep.
So how come I've been in that game 8 and I've done all this?
Yeah, you've got all these, you know, unveils and fucking you've been here, you've been there, planes, fucking
Magazine front covers, this, that, one like random one-on-one
and,
cars.
and
blah,
again,
blah.
that comes down to you and your marketing, man.
The hustle.
The hustle.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
like,
yeah.
You market yourself well, you
Yeah.
know, for people to
But
go.
I produce the results. That's why, as I said earlier, I
Definitely.
have that confidence in myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I have the confidence now that
Which I think I can relate to that very much, and I think it's probably because we've come up together.
yeah, like that,
There's
yeah.
like I've got enough in the bag now that I can go. I do this. I'm good at it. Fuck you. If you don't like it, get the fuck out of my way.
Yeah.
Like I just don't care. You're wasting my time. And I think for a long time you're sort of scraping the barrel. You know, yeah, all right, I'll look after you. Or yeah, I'll fuck. You know, but you hit this point where you're just like,
that's because you don't know your own self-worth.
correct. You need You once you sort of. Once you
When you get
harness
to the
that-
point that you have a business and you start turning away work and you can actively do it because you're just not interested,
Yes.
that's a good feeling.
Yeah.
can
And I'm not
choose,
saying
man.
that as a swag, as a
no.
as a kick, but it's like, hey, I don't feel like working on that.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm not going to have to struggle my ass out
Yep.
to do that.
And
You know what I mean?
yeah, man, 100%. Like just within the near on 6 years, 5-6 years that I've been going for now, like I've got myself to a niche point where people understand Harley dirt bikes, but I've got like certain years. All right, someone rings me up, oh, can you do this on my dirt bike? What model is it? If it's any older than 10 years, I ain't doing it.
Yep. Yeah.
It's going to cause me problems.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would I take your?
You
like,
could do it,
I
but
don't-
you're not interested.
I'm
in
not
it.
interested.
Yeah.
And I don't need to do it because I know other people already rolling their bikes through the doors to do something that I'm passionate about.
Yeah. Yeah. And that just comes with the growth and getting it done. And and even better, like to be able to pick and choose now and obviously have boys that I'm accountable for and like what they've got to do in their families and stuff like that. Like I remember back in the day working for yourself, you grind your absolute ass out, you mean, for $3 to $5 grand for a week and that. Now I got to pay $4 grand a week in wages
Yep.
for a look at a profit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, you tell that to me 5 years ago, I'd be like,
Yep.
tripping.
Yep.
Whereas now it's like it's just a normal
Yep.
thing. Like it's just So I think the confidence back in yourself is just, but you got to earn it too.
Yeah. It's a
But
hard
again, it
road.
comes back to numbers on the board.
Yeah.
What have you done? What have you achieved?
How much
Who
have
are
you done
you?
to be able to be the confident person that you are now?
Correct.
Yeah.
And I haven't got the slogan. I've been in business 42 years.
Yeah.
Cool, that's great. I've been getting up and fucking having a shower and brushing my teeth for 42 years though. like, what have you been doing? Like, what have you actually done with the business? Have you excelled in it? Have you skyrocketed it? Have you made it become what it needs? Yeah. So that's a big thing. But yeah, look, the detailing side, I stay off all the forums. I stay out of that shit. I just
Do
lot
you?
Of, lot of good details in Australia. There is a lot of good details in Australia. It's pretty good. Like most of them, I mean, it's easy to get along with a few of the big dogs and things like that, and everyone sort of wants to win and stuff like that. There's a lot come through that, the egos get threatened and shit like that. But I stay off all that shit.
I feel that's the best
Don't get in the politics of it.
Fuck yeah, man.
And you can run your own race and be as good as what you are without knowing the ins and the outs of
Bro,
what
Kobe,
everyone's
people
doing.
could sit there and talk absolute smack on Kobe Bryant about basketball and this, and he doesn't dribble right, blah, blah, blah. But then when it comes to game night, and then you look at the board and you look at his stats, and you're like,
Yep.
Yeah.
that's all it comes down to. That's all it what are you producing? What is the results that you're actually attaining?
Yep.
And
That's
those-
all it comes down to.
Those little fucking community things, and like, they keep people stuck in that community. Like, if you were always, you wouldn't have taken that. You wouldn't be out there filming drags now because you'd be like, oh, yeah, I'm just too busy replying to all these detailers.
Correct. Yeah,
Like-
or you got people on there giving advice that they don't actually
Yes.
invest in themselves, or they haven't done themselves. Or like, imagine if I was on one of them. Nah. Imagine if I was on one of them community pages and someone put up there about content. Oh, I'm filming a house for such and such for Metricon, blah blah. I jump on there. So what I would do is I'd do this, and this. I don't know. I've never done one. Yeah, I can film content, but I don't do it. But you got people that are promoting and pushing that shit. So shut up.
Yep.
I mean, stay in a lane. Like, but everyone's got an opinion.
Yes.
And then that comes back earlier about the role we're talking about men. Like, get your shit together. Step up. Stop
Yep.
being. Yeah.
Yep. I've got a couple of things here that I wanted to ask. I've been seeing a bit of it, and I've been really liking seeing the drag stuff you're doing. What's your involvement with that? Obviously, it's come from skids, cleaning, detailing,
Industry.
in the
Industry.
scene, in the
Yeah,
industry,
cars.
in the scene. I hate that word, industry, but in the scene,
Fuck the industry.
like you're well
Industries
known.
and corporate.
Yeah.
2 words. Yeah.
So people, these people's cars, are you just detailing these people's cars, like the race cars, and then they're allowing you to go and watch practice runs and shit like that?
No. So the way that sort of kicked off and started was actually one of our big customers, Symbolics.
Yep.
So we look after all their cars. They got a heap of cars, muscle cars, like that. That's their scene. You're right. So they obviously got the drag car, the drag team, stuff like that. I went away with them one weekend. Can't remember what it was for. I went out to do something and I filmed a little edit.
Yep.
And that was when I sort of picked the camera up, started putting 2 and 2 together, got it going. And it popped off. They really liked it.
Yep.
The biggest thing I noticed in drags for such a long time, and you'll get this because you had this as a past.
Yeah.
Anytime you see drags, it's a fucking photo.
Yeah.
There's no emotion. There's no story.
Yep.
There's no nothing. Like,
Yep.
it's just a car coming off the line or a result. So then I went away and obviously started doing more and more with Symbolics, and then started getting some real good traction. Like, I made them a page and I was like, we'll have a crack. We'll see what this does.
Yep.
Bang. Started getting traction.
Yep.
Started getting noticed from other people. Now I do a lot for George
Yep.
Jasewski. So I do a lot for him. He's obviously got more cars than God.
Yep.
And very competitive in the scene. Very knows what he wants. And he was one of the ones that sort of said, like, hey, I like what you're doing. Going to give you a shot.
Cool.
Jumped on.
Yep.
Started doing it with him. And by him, again, talking earlier about like kids and like, looking for acceptance and affection and things and appreciation and stuff like that. Him giving me the opportunity straight away, like the wick in me, I was like, I can make something of this.
Yep.
I can do something sick for this. And this is the guy
Yep.
that has all the cars, the categories, to actually
Yep.
do something for him. And then he's sort of given me that opportunity now to jump in and
Yeah, sick.
That's
Start
awesome,
doing
man.
that.
Because
And
from
it's-
someone like myself, both of us, we're
Yeah, we-
motorsport, but I'm more motorbike, obviously. But being around, like, I love the drag scene.
Well, we
were
grew
around
up in it, man.
We grew up around
Yeah.
a door slammer team the whole time. My dad was the clutch man for the top door
there
slammer
you
team
go.
for so long.
Probably the biggest job. Yeah.
Yeah, like, man, like, we were in it. We
Yeah.
were in it, and I still fucking froth it. So I think that's
To
why.
go there and see it was an eye opener for me.
Oh, man.
I'm used to burnouts.
And that's
man,
what
we
I was
just
gonna
sit on
say.
8,000 RPM, rim bash
Yep.
it, don't rod it, have a blast.
Yep.
But to see how dialed, calculated in, and I think the
Everything.
biggest aspect,
Everything,
like
man.
to see the way, obviously I get to work in a lot with Moits
Yep.
and like all that, like Croydon, etc. like that, to see the way they put a car together and to see how much is involved to chase a 1/10 of a second.
Yeah.
And that, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah,
the
the
money.
money.
Like,
Yeah.
that's
Money
what-
makes
that's-
drag, money makes burnouts, and that look like
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But people don't understand. Like some of these guys that have these, like they could probably go out and start doing V8 supercar shit tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like they're not far off. You mean having,
man.
But to see what's involved to get that car to do that, from suspension to the tune-up to the track to
Yep.
the chassis to everything, and what people don't understand is in most
So sick.
most aspects
sick.
to make that happen, I call it it's like the perfect fucking storm.
Yeah.
Has to be the perfect tune-up, the perfect track, the perfect
Outside
chassis,
air.
chassis setup, perfect.
Everything.
The driver has to be on it. Like it has to be perfect for that 3-4 seconds.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which
That's
is
all they're
fucking
chasing.
crazy.
That's all they're fucking chasing is 3-4 seconds.
Yeah.
Like it has to be perfect for just that. Like
But you could
Yeah.
imagine, and I've seen it, but I wasn't the one doing it. But you could imagine like what you'd get out of that driver and team putting all of that in, making that perfect storm come together, and you get that fucking clear pass, and you fucking get that, you know.
yeah, but
speed or
then they're all mentally fucked because they have the addiction. They want it again.
Yeah.
they want more.
That's what hurts them.
We want to go 2 seconds faster.
And that not 2 seconds,
point-
2
point-
tenths.
That's
two
big,
tenths.
Boggs.
As I said, I was like, I meant point something of
2/10 of a second might be an extra $60,000 and 6 months of
Everything.
changing the car.
Like hectic work.
And then they might put in an extra 10 pounder boost and change one or two things, and they go back to square one.
Something pops.
And nothing works. And nothing works. And then they chase their tails for 6 months.
Yeah.
Getting to sit back and watch that is really intriguing.
Yeah.
To
Because
see.
coming from the burnouts. where
Bro,
you-
burnouts, man. Like,
It's-
I laugh
it's-
with the drag racers all the time because they like hang shit on me and they're like, fuckers will build like a $40,000 blown engine just to rim bash the fuck out of it
Yeah.
and hold it on limiter for 2.5 minutes. I'm like, you can't still spend $1 million for 3 seconds.
Yeah.
I'd hate to see your sex life. If you're not first, you're last. True. That's no say. If you're not first, you're last. But they're like, you're crazy. It's like, I see what these guys do to build these cars, and then it's over and done with in like 3 seconds. And then, as I said, they get that tiny little
I want
win,
more.
and they go, "Do you reckon there's more in it?
yeah.
Oh, we'll change this, and this."
Yep.
And yeah, like everyone's running going into the fours now, like in the pro mod cars. You know what I
Yep,
mean? Like, I know what some of these people, as in like a 3-4,
Yeah.
like because they're already in the threes.
Yeah.
I know what's like. I can't remember. I think it's either Zeta or Wade's got it at the moment, but like it's like a 350 something.
Yeah.
But like to get to that 349, like
Oh,
dead engines, this,
Man.
that, months of, or some, you mean, it's so much
Fucking crazy.
change up. And I know that soon as someone will hit it, and then one or two other people will hit it, because it's like that 100-mile thing, like, you know what I mean, one
Yep.
person does it, everyone sort of hits it.
Yep.
But then I know that it'd be who can do the 4.8?
Yeah. It's
Like,
that.
where does this shit stop?
Yeah,
And that's what I
it
start
doesn't.
to think.
And
Yeah.
I reckon I get like that is sick. Like,
Yeah.
don't stop, cunt.
Yeah.
Keep going.
My
Keep
goal
going.
for the content, my goal for the content for drag racing is I want to make it like NASCAR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You watch NASCAR, it's huge, it's sick, they have cool content on it, it's engaging and that.
Yeah.
And then, as I said, you go to the drags and it's literally like you get people doing photos and that, or some half-ass videos.
Is
right?
that
When it
just
gets-
an Aussie thing? Like, are
was
they
gonna say.
doing it
it's
big
starting
in the
to get big,
States?
it's starting to get bigger in the States.
Like, they're 4-lane strips and that. Like, they've been doing that for a while now. You'd think there'd be people out there doing some sick videography.
It is now. It is now. There's a few big dogs I follow in America that like have pretty much got a full-time wage.
Yeah.
So the goal is obviously for me to run the shop like 2-3 days a week, and then have the other 2 days the boys run the shop, and then I go out and do 2 days of content a week.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to put together. But then obviously help drag racing grow, the branding grow, then the sponsors are happy.
Yep.
And it's that telling a story. Plus the other thing too is people don't understand when you're actually there and you see these cars and the speeds they do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Man, like to be in the deep end and have a car come past you at 220 miles an hour.
Completely different. Like TV video, like it does nothing for it, man. It's no different being in the bush and seeing a fucking hill that steep.
Yeah,
you
and
come
then
home and
watching
watch
it.
it, and it looks like you're on flat ground.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yep.
Yeah.
What happened there?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
That's to actually be there and to
You
have
feel
it.
like you feel it.
You see why people die.
You fuck. Oh
You
yeah.
understand why people die. And you understand why these cars lift off the ground.
Yeah,
And-
and fly.
You also almost understand why they spend $1 million for 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Because that 3 seconds
Are you
would be
kidding?
fucking unbelievable, bro.
Yeah, it would.
Unbelievable.
Man,
like that force where you'd just be
I
like,
feel bad for them, but they're cursed.
yeah.
I feel bad for them, they're cursed because they just have this number. They just have to chase.
Yeah.
Like, it's just,
It'll never end.
The attainments never are never.
But that's the sport.
I know, but
That's
they're
it,
cursed.
man.
It's like a pirate. They're cursed. The diehard ones, they're cursed. Like they'll always, and they're chasing like if you're playing NBA or AFL, you're chasing a grand final. You
Yep.
mean you're chasing that, or
But then
these guys aren't. Some of these guys aren't chasing a race. They're just chasing a record.
Yeah, but that's the same as
But then once you
FMX.
get it, you get it.
Yeah, but then once they get it, they always go,
The next guy smashes it. And
or the next guy gets close, or they look at it and go, hey, we got the record, but we still think there's like an extra, we could change a couple of things that can't go a little bit harder.
I feel
And then they
that
start
that's
again.
Similar to Moto, man, to FMX.
yeah,
You know, like
there's never that.
there's no end
No.
to it. There's always no end, man. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh, I don't know. You see kids like that, Willie and shit. Like, he's not human. Like, yeah, he's,
but it's happening.
yeah. Like, he's, you know what I mean? Like, you look at his shit. I watched
up.
But you know
Yeah,
what's
man.
crazy? You've got to think though. We look at that shit and we go, "That's fucked." Laker's going to look at that shit and just go, "I'll do that." And
That's
then
normal.
what? And then what's he gonna do?
That's normal.
That's scary to think.
It's
I've never
fucking
thought-
crazy, dude. Because that's where we all like, you know, it's a generation thing. Like, you know, like our dads are like, I can't believe you did that big jump and hung off the back of it. We're like, that's easy. But then like the younger generations are like, I'll do a fucking
Yeah, but
Superman
surely it's
grab.
got to get to a point soon where they just can't really.
Dude,
Rams-
we
They can't
said
go high
that.
enough. They can't go long enough to get more in.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
but we've
but
been
Rams,
saying that for fucking
Down
10
Rams,
years
like-
now.
Like
and they're
development, man. Like it's
They're going bigger and
huge in
it's-
every aspect. The bikes, the ramps, the landers. It's all becoming about like safety and being able to chase that unbelievable because
Yeah.
it won't stop, man. I'll put me.
But I guess you know what's weird with going with drags though. You've got there's only so far you can get. Like, what's it going to be? 0 seconds.
Oh, but
Like what do you mean?
Some of these people are that cursed that
They're
they
like,
could.
they're
Like,
like,
but-
I'm gonna get it in fucking.
But bro, you
What?
remember like what it was like just being in the surroundings as young when Capirius did 607.
Oh fuck yeah, it was huge.
Like, that was
Now,
world
hey,
record.
if I stand a car come past me now, I wouldn't even pay attention. to
607s are like nothing now, but at the time that shit
100%.
was
You know what I mean?
fucking huge,
That's-
man.
yeah, that's-
You know,
that's what
like-
I mean.
Like
Yeah.
and like you were saying, the chase,
Yeah.
like, the drive, like
It was
We've
hectic.
seen that much of like we've seen
Ins
a
of
lot
it.
of it
But
at
it was-
home and
yeah.
that.
But we were still
but-
kids on the outside.
That's a whole different level, the top fuel level and shit like that.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I had my first experience with that at NDIC this year.
True.
And everyone knew that I'd never been around a top fuel or anything before. I had media clearance.
Yeah.
So I could stand right next to it. And I had so many people G'ing me up.
fuck.
And I even had Adrian from like Summernats, NDIC and all that, Andy Lopez and that. And they were like, you've never seen one? I'm like, nah. And they're like, don't tense, like just blah, blah, blah. And I mean, like most people see it from the grandstands.
Yep.
I'm standing from like here to there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
And everyone's like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like,
Can't be that bad.
Yeah,
you mean? I'm like, bro,
I've been around this shit.
I've been around tough cars and that, blah, blah. And I still remember I was sitting there and one of the top fuelers come, and I remember him coming back. He'd done his skid, and I was like, yeah, it's loud. But don't forget, I've been around burnout cars forever. Like when you got like Gramusa, Myers,
Yeah.
Ballistic, Hold On, Skid, and that coming in at like 9,000 RPM.
This close.
Don't get
to
me
you
wrong.
sometimes.
And your ears are vibrating and your chest is like, ah. So this thing doing a skid, I was like,
Should be right.
yeah, pretty cool. I was like, yeah. But when it back past me and the tune was that fat, that I'm like from here to there and out the zoomies, I'm just getting blitted in race fuel. And I was like, that's fat. That's fat.
This
and I
is
was
gonna
like,
go.
yeah. I was like, so he come back past me and I still remember, it was the Premier car. I still remember it because I was like, yeah, okay. I was like,
Were you filming it all, or were
no,
you just
I didn't
having
film
a?
my first two because I was like in my head. I didn't film my first two.
Just watch.
So that come back past me, yeah, and I was like, all right, well, that's pretty fat because we've had fat tunes in skid cars. You mean the car comes past you, you got meth
Yeah.
in your eyes, and you're
Yeah.
like, fuck, now that's a fat tune.
Yep.
Comes past me, I'm like, all right, and everyone's like, don't tense, don't do this. And I knew there was people in the grandstand watching me because they wanted to see me jumping, fucking blah blah. I'm like, don't tense, practice cool, play it cool. Like you're getting rated.
Yeah.
Play cool. I don't know shit, dude. Don't know shit. So I tried playing it cool. The only thing I fucked up is that when it come off, I clenched my jaw.
Yeah.
As it come past, the rattle in my teeth. Oh, I remember the pain in my jaw straight
What,
away.
were you quarter track or something?
Nah, I was only probably 60 foot.
Yeah,
like,
right.
So they'll come and pass me with a bit of poke, but
Yeah.
I'm talking like we're here to the wall.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
I'm
You're
like,
on the
I had
line.
media pass. Like
Yeah,
I'm
your
right on the
sideline.
fence.
Yep.
The pain in my jaw, and I still remember as it went past, the heat from there to there.
Yeah.
The heat within a split second. And I was like, yeah. And I still remember that I watched two before I started filming, and like I was sweet. Like it's all good once you get over that initial. And the one thing I think a lot of people don't do is they I'm so focused on the car when it happens, I fucking watch the tree. I know when you're dropping that button. So I'm watching the tree. I'm like, and you can get that sort of around the same time and they are. I'm like, okay, it's coming. And then, so after that film, but I still remember my jaw that night. Like, but I understand now why people be around them cars and they're like, for you as kids, if I took Laker to that,
oh man,
he would have a fuck meltdown, bawl his eyes out, fucking, he'd be like, wow, the world's coming to an end. I mean, so for you guys to be kids and to be around that, I can understand, like,
it was hectic, man.
Proper in pits.
Combustion was just inserted there. Like, combustion's a part of life. Like, fuel, fire, go fast.
Fucking,
whether it's,
you're thinking about that fucking probably has to be a lot why, like, the chase is... Like where things like we can rock up to Summernats and it's just like, we're at home.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, can you go like rev it louder?
Yeah,
I want to fucking fit like.
Yeah.
It's just natural because we were.
Yeah, there's no real like now. I guess like holy shit.
Nah, it's hard to impress me, man.
Like, fuck,
it's very
man.
hard.
It is.
You know.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Hey, can we do a 2-second break so I can piss?
Yeah.
Done.
Let's go. Piss break. Get it done.
Don't have to pause
Just pause
it,
it.
nothing?
No, we'll just keep talking shit.
All right, you two talk shit.
How long have we been going for there, Cobb? Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. We'll fucking get a piss in and there you go. Just step over it. You'll be right. Get some shit done, boys. Big Schmedo, we almost didn't have you here today, bruv. Oh, look out, cunts. Fuck me. Keep it on us too. Is it on the wide? Get off the wide. You've showed them everything. I'm going to have to crop in. No.
Yeah, almost wasn't going to make it here today. Bloody just need to get a drink.
Oh, wet the lips. A bit parched, are you there, Schmedo? It's been a big yarn. Troy.
Yeah, I had another checkup today, wound checkup. Everything's looking pretty good. There might be a chance and talk of potentially pulling one of the load-bearing pins out of my shin because it could either be loose or it's just slightly infected.
Yep.
Which isn't really a major thing. They put an extra load-bearing pin in for this reason when they do the surgery. So that may be happening. I'm going back next Friday, to have another checkup. But other than that, everything's going, good. It's going to get taken off, I think, within 6 weeks.
Yeah, nice.
And then, I'll be back kind of as normal, I guess. Well, normal when I say I can wear normal pants and clothes and shit like that. I'll be in a cast.
A cast?
Cast or a moon boot.
Yeah,
it
right.
depends on how it goes after the 6 weeks.
Yep.
She said that the surgeon said it potentially could even walk once it's taken off.
Yep.
But it's all depending on how good their jigsaw puzzle was put back together. Well, how
it's all mended.
Because she basically said to me, "Hey, man," she's like, "You could put weight on it for the first time and it'll just go
Oh, no.
and collapse. Like the whole bone will
Do you
just..."
get warranty on that?
So I was
Like, do you send it back
really?
to DJI and they send you a new one?
So it's at that point. So it's still at a very I'm not too sure what's the deal and what's going to happen. But as for what's going on now and the plan of this frame and the job it's doing, it's doing it. It's its job. So
Well, that's always good news.
yeah, and I'm back in the workshop
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
doing some shit, getting
Yep.
around. That felt real good. Got a bike done out the door yesterday. So I'm in between doing everything.
Yep.
Between even this
Yep.
appointments, all that, I'm at the shop, and that's so good for the mental state, man. I don't like sitting around doing nothing. I can't when I've got that weight on my shoulders.
Yeah.
It plays fucking.
This will be the first and last time you do that on the bike.
Oh man, don't.
You work for yourself now. Done. But
do you
we
know
still
how-
were out
do
there
you-
before
do
10
you
minutes
know-
ago, and these cunts are like, jump the jump.
I'm
I know
gonna
I can jump it.
My
I'm that-
wrist's
I'm
fucked.
that confident I can jump it, and that's fine. But if
I'm
something
not.
does go wrong,
Yep.
my missus relies on me, my kids rely on me, these boys rely on me. You have to make that point where you go, you know what?
Bro, and I said this to myself, a while ago. Do you know? You got no idea the disappointment I created for myself when it happened, and realised because it was a freak. Like I didn't do anything.
Yeah, it was
crazy.
just
It was a freak accident.
Shouldn't happen.
Shouldn't have happened. But now I think of it,
Shouldn't have been there.
The
In a sense,
amount.
it was my fault.
Yeah, fuck you, Shane. The amount of
How's the wrist, dog? How's the wrist? How's the wrist, big dog?
Yeah, well, it's fuck. We'll get into that story in a little bit soon. We'll tell you how that went down. That's fucked.
But I was thinking, just quickly, Shane, I was thinking about this and the whole deal and when it happened with that whole, like, it shouldn't have, what the fuck. My ankles, like, I've just kind of forgotten about everything that has happened prior and the damage that's was in there,
Yep.
and just taken it as it is.
Yep. Comfy.
Yeah, comfy, but they weren't giving me enough shit for me to kind of keep enough conscious.
Even be
on
like,
them
there's something wrong with them.
Yeah, it's sweet, you know.
Yeah, it's true.
To a point, besides me toes, it didn't really work. Anyway, I reckon I've just ridden the way that I would have and do, and it's just bent and gone, fuck, I can't go anymore because of the previous, and it's just gone snap on the foot peg, slipped and just jammed the ground and then blew it all apart. Like, I reckon it's broken on the foot peg due to that. Like,
You just were like lazy with it because you weren't.
I'm not strong enough, man. You've broken me that many fucking times.
Yeah.
How much more can I do?
Yeah.
I'm letting go. Crack.
Yeah.
It's a weak point.
Yeah.
It's like when you build a car and you always want to have a weak point in a car, it's always the easiest replaceable, like whether it's a drive shaft or a tail shaft or something like that.
Which
you
I
want
did
that to
the
go.
worst
You don't want
part.
that to be the that wasn't would have been good if it was like a pinky finger or something. Like, I can work with that bitch. But yeah, like that's just, as you said, you've damaged it so many times. Now it's just a crucial area. That's
And that's now why I agree with what you say, and like I won't leave the ground on a dirt bike again.
Yeah. You'll be conscious.
Yeah.
I was riding his bike out there being a peanut before. I could have high sided and come off, and but like you always run that risk. But that's why, like, jumping that jump, like he jumped it, fell off. We're all laughing that. I could have done it, but what happened? I put my hand down and broke my wrist. Bang, you're out 9 weeks.
That would be me, right? Just after
so
I
Shano, what happened?
fucking get all G'd up, fucking.
How come you got G'd up?
Well,
I was here.
he fucking cheated me up, and he's like fucking done a big no footer, and then he come around the corner and fucking goes like, I'm gonna do a heel clicker, and I'm like, if this cunt does a heel clicker on this jump before me, I'm the heel clicker guy, bruv. So anyway, had a good crack. Then fucking Jimmy kicked him off. I was like, fuck it, ran around, almost hit one, come back around, clapped one. And was just fucking dun 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 dun, just excited.
This isn't a KXF 450 either.
No, yeah, this is a KX 110, bruh. So she was on the limmy, right?
So when you're on limmy in the air, you mean?
No, I'd landed and just did the celebration.
He was
rev.
showboating.
Holding your foot in
Dun,
neutral.
dun, dun. I don't even.
How are you dunning? Doesn't have a clutch, bro.
It must have popped out.
Maybe I did have me foot on it, or maybe I'd like kicked it down to neutral or something like that, and maybe it was a bit of a falsie. Honestly, it all happened that fast. I can't even tell you, bro. Anyway, next thing I know, this cunt was fucking whiskey throttling out my hand.
I'm looking at my phone and I just hear this thing pinned. I look and he's halfway up the chain link fence.
One hand.
With one hand. He was still holding it.
It just... and it was
And Millhouse is chasing him with the camera. I was like, what's happened?
Oh, God.
But it was one of those ones, like, like we've all had the old whiskey throttle before, but when it whiskey throttles on that angle and you've only got one, you have to let go of a hand and you've just like, fuck, if I bail, it's going to eat me up. I've got to get the right moment, and that moment just didn't come until I was in the
moment was about 5 foot before he got to the fence. He should have let go.
I fucking rode this fence like a motherfucker. This is me fucked wrist, and it's fucking tight. It's one of those ones where I'm scared for tomorrow morning.
Yeah, that'll tell you.
Yeah, when you
Sad,
wake
you ain't
up,
got shit to do sleeping. You good.
can't do much with it, but not that I'm
If
doing
there's any
that anyway.
females out there, Borgie works for himself. He's hustling. You know what I mean? Like, come step up to the plate.
My wrist hasn't been working anyway. I'm fucking a year and a half fucking
I was going to say,
deep on that.
Yeah, you.
I'm still not fucking choking the chicken. Nah.
You're
Really?
unreal.
Yeah, bro. I'm like a year and I don't even know. I just lost count. I haven't wanked for over a year and a half.
Really?
Yeah. I have exploded, but I don't do the work. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah, but how many times in a year and a half? Like, enough. Obviously enough to keep you sane.
Oh, look, well,
Don't get me wrong, it could be more.
There's been some periods where I'm like, fuck. But yeah, I guess I've
All right, so why?
luckily
Why?
saved myself.
What makes you want to go down that road? Why?
Now I'm just sort of like, I'm here. And you get to this point where, like, I just almost
Do you find that you had more mental clarity and stuff by doing that?
I reckon, fuck yeah. But then at some points too, it's very obvious when the dick's talking. He's just like, look at boobies, look at boobies. He's like, look at boobies, look at boobies, look at boobies, look at boobies. Like, check out all the boobies.
I've heard people.
Shut up, cunt. I don't need to look at all these boobs. I got work to do. You know, but
I've heard people talk about it, like semen retention.
Well, and it was more of just like I don't know. It was just at the start. I was like, fucking throwing one out every night just to go to bed. Like, fucking, how about you just try and go to bed, cunt? And it just
Night.
Well,
Go to bed.
That was sort of how it was sort of rolling.
Get off your head.
I know. That's why I was like, I need to calm down, mate. But
I think that's healthy.
well, and then it just sort of got to the point where I was like, can I just fucking not pull my dick for a month? And then like it got to the end of the month, and I was like, I'm pretty good at this. I'm going to see how far I can get. And then it just kept going to the point where
So
I
in
was
other
like,
words, you're in a de facto relationship with your dick.
we're just not getting along at the moment.
So can I ask a personal question?
Yeah, probably.
When you are, yeah, probably.
It depends. Go on, hit me.
When you're in a intimate setting with a
Yep.
female,
Yep.
is it hard to not fucking want to blow the bank? You mean she like shows half a nipple and you're like, you can go home, you can go now, you're done.
Well, I'm going to work out how I can explain this one in the right way. Yes, to a point. It's fucking weird,
And how do you
right?
explain that situation? Like, sorry, it's been a while. She's like, yeah, they all say that. It's like, no, even for me.
Has everyone seen the scene from Scary Movie at the end of the day when she's stuck to the roof? It's sort of explanatory. She's like, Jesus Christ. But no, yes, to a T. It's like if there is a gap, it's very easy. Like I'm talking, I'm like
this.
bro, not even. Like not even. It's literally
really?
almost thought. Like if it's into it enough and they're the right rub, you're done. But then it's like weird. Yeah, bro, like fucking gone, cunt. Like I have made an absolute, I've embarrassed myself a couple of times. I'm hoping that those ladies are just good women out there and respect me for who I am.
likes me.
No, I'm just full. I am so full.
So I am the complete.
Yeah, see,
opposite.
100%, and that's it's funny to, look, it's a bit of a weird one, but then it's very much like I feel like I've never really had much control. It's like, well, it's time, and it hasn't ever been great.
You can work out of that.
Now I can.
control
I've got control of
that
that. The first time,
If
2 weeks go
if
past.
the local OnlyFans girl walks in here right now and you haven't touched your gherkin in weeks and you haven't been touched, I'm telling you now, you ain't controlling shit.
Straight up. But it's round 2. Round 3, round 4 is where it's like, I've got this now. You watch me go.
It's because you're empty.
No, but I'm not. I'm still fucking full, cunt.
That's like saying I've jumped the jump. I reckon I can jump it again. Of course you can. You hit it the first time.
It's one of the... And
See,
like,
I've always been the complete opposite. Like, that's why it's so intriguing to me. Like, I
Yeah.
think, obviously, getting a load off is, like, a healthy thing for male and female.
and I think to a point, yes. Like, there is... And, like, once I got into it, I did, like, more research. And, it isn't great... Like, if you have a lot of build-up, it can cause problems. You do need to release.
What is the cause?
I'm pretty sure you
Blue
can get
balls.
some... No. Like, you know what's funny? I'm going to be it's a fucking myth.
No,
I've blue-balled myself. But you know what it is? I have. I fucking have. I'm just going, you know what? You're not getting any, cunt. Fuck this.
You don't bring enough to this relationship. You don't provide. You don't cook. You don't clean.
You
We're
always
done.
finish first. I'm sick of it, right? No, it doesn't. I think it's it's more of a blue ball. Like you can control. Like, don't get me wrong. You get in a situation and it's hot and heavy with a chick, and you're pretty much doing it all, but not actually doing it, and then you've like got to leave. You can be frustrated, right? But I honestly believe blue ball is a bit of a bullshit myth.
Well, I don't know because
You've just been horny as fuck, bro.
I've experienced where my nuts hurt, man, to the point where like don't even like hard to walk.
No way.
Three,
Bro.
4 days without a load off, which like that's the longest I've ever gone.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Bro, all right, so that in a nutshell, both having misses, are you still pulling your dicks? Or do you
rarely,
not?
Very rarely. My
Yeah.
missus, like,
Oh, that's
we've got a
winning.
relationship. Like,
That's
yeah.
cool.
Like, not
Because,
really.
all right, you know what it comes down to too? You know what it really comes down to? What the fuck are you doing? You're a fucking loser. You are a fucking loser, dude. Like, pull your fucking head in. If that thing's getting used, someone else's fuck. Like,
No,
what are you doing?
I actually disagree because some dudes are better off doing that than the things they put it in.
Oh, yeah.
You know, some dude, I've had situations in my head that I'm being like, you know what? I would have been better off just having a fucking shower,
I get
having
that.
a wank, getting it out of my fucking system, and going to bed. Because now I'm laying with this bitch that I'm uncomfortable with. She thinks we're fucking a thing now. It's like, bro, the brain fog's gone.
Yeah.
Kind of bounce.
The old fucking after.
and
What,
you
what
know-
is it?
you know that feeling. Like,
Post
it's-
cum clarity.
It is.
Post cum clarity is the
It is.
realest shit
Sometimes-
ever.
Little Wayne even sings about it in songs.
Bro,
like,
it's
you mean?
real.
You get a load off sometimes and you're like,
Oh, fuck. What have I done here?
oh, no, it's not that, but it's like, okay, that's out of my system. And you really, like, you were like the adrenaline hype up. Like, I thought I needed you, like a real good coffee in the morning. But now, like, I had it, like, I'm good. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas some
Yeah.
dudes, like, they would have been better off having a wank. But now they're like, and then 9 months later, it's like, he's Peter.
Well, yes. That is probably 90% of the reason people get stuck.
I've never, 3 days. 3 to 4 days is the longest I've ever without relief in myself. Ever.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing you're probably the same. I've never been to the point that I can't walk and shit. Like, I get sensitive down there. Like,
Yeah, nah, and I reckon that was when, you know, something like halfway through stopped.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like, you're
But
almost,
it's
you're
never-
fucking ready to go, but then
it's-
it's, nah, we can't do this
but,
now.
I'm just trying to remember back, but I remember one, yeah, man, my nuts were that fucking sore. Like, it was shit. And I was like, this blue ball stuff's fucking for real.
Yeah, fair.
I think that's also too because you've also been that type of dude that's built so much testosterone up the time. You've always had that release, and obviously when you have that release, your body releases all the chemicals and
Yeah.
I mean, like for me, it's the sleep pill, man. Like
Yeah.
But then because I've been with my partner for so long, and she was very hard at the start to get off and things like that, and some females are. So I learned how to build up a tolerance. Whereas now it's fucking done like disappointed me sometimes. You know what I mean, like I've always got there at the end. But you can tell, you mean, they're like, you mean, there's plenty of times she's like, bro, what are you doing? Like, we've done everything. Like, it's time to, you know what I mean, the ship's sailed, your luggage is still on the dock, like, get it on the boat. You know what I mean? Like, and there's situations when we went together or when I was younger and things like that, you mean, you'd sleep with a girl and like, I wouldn't be able to get a load off at all.
Yeah.
And then they do the whole, oh, it's me, he doesn't like me, it's that. And then you give them the whole, no, I'm really good at like controlling myself. I can really hold myself back. And like, oh yeah, of course you can. Like, you know what I mean? And like, you feel like an asshole, but it's like, no, like legit, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kegel exercises. I'm telling you now.
yeah.
Dudes do it. Like, don't you need to take pills and shit like that. Don't think you your nan halfway through, like it won't work. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
don't do that. That's how weird fetishes start. You fucking weird cunts. What the fuck? Holding a nan, think of nan. Don't think of nan. That's the worst fucking... Oh,
What are you laughing at, Mill? Let's look at him. He's like, I've thought of so many nans. You know what I mean? It's just like Kegel exercises and stuff like that. And also, I think obviously when you're young, like you're practicing, you're young, and you just, you mean, you go at it like rabbits for so long, and
it's
I respect that you're doing it. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, bro, after a week and a half, I'd be like,
It's more... You know what it is?
dudes would walk past me like transgender dudes in lockers and that, and I'd be like,
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I find myself rubbing up against walls a lot more often. Like, I'm just sort of like on corners of things doing it, but I'm not. But no,
if there's a female out there that wants to be a sexual partner of Borgie, please send your applications through now. Like, you could relieve each other and everything could be fine. And
it's
great.
It's fucking weird, man. It really, it's not.
I've heard people
that
talk about
bad.
it. Yeah, but I've heard
really,
like,
but I wouldn't put myself in a category of like. I don't think I've got a high sex drive like you either. Like, I just don't care. Just whatever.
Yeah,
when
so
I'm
that's
in,
different.
when
You
I'm
obviously-
fucking into it.
I went 2 years, just a bit over 2 years without having a root before I met my missus.
you okay?
Yeah.
Fuck, that's...
Business.
I did a lot of work, man. A lot
I had
of work.
a lot of wanking.
Hey, my ankle broke, but this is Thor.
Yeah, no, but then going back to like
2 years,
yeah,
nothing.
nothing,
Nothing from a female.
nothing for a female.
And a dude as well. Let's just be clear. Yeah.
But this also coming from
nothing-
like
what?
from
So-
10 to 15 years of doing pretty well.
Why, but what?
Heaps of like I got out of rehab, got off, all the prescription meds. It was a 10-year addiction.
That makes
like,
it shit.
fucking
I've
hectic.
been there and had
And
that.
then-
But it-
Not
yeah,
to
but
your
then-
level,
but
but
then
you were there was bits and pieces when you
But I
were
was
coming
working
out.
on myself, bro.
That's what I mean.
Time.
That 2 years would have started when you moved out there and built a business.
Yeah, when I started business and that, and
Yeah.
but I'm talking all of it, working personally on myself.
Yeah.
because I had to do a lot of work in that area after rehab, through rehab, and then within that first year, starting building the business, doing all the shit, like, just
that's wild.
like, don't get me
wasn't at
wrong,
the
it come
forefront.
into me. It was always a thought, like, and going like, fuck, it hasn't happened, but like, fuck, it'd be good to get a route, kind of thing, but. It was like just go.
See,
go.
I do it almost like it's habitual now. Like it's the release, the wind down.
Yeah, I get that too. Like there's fucking nothing
Especially
better.
when like you're running a
Yeah.
business and you're so like I'm such a high drive person. I'm high strung out. It's
Yeah.
always my attitude. My energy is always like that's for me. It's like a fucking debrief.
Bro, I am.
But when it's not
Bro,
there,
give yourself a fucking give just 2 weeks.
Nah.
And I'm telling you, you want a debrief, cunt. It'll be the biggest, like, the release you get when you hold out to is fucking crazy. Because it is. It's like, I am fucked after it. Like, I'm talking, can't even move, cunt. Like, I almost end up like them.
Yeah,
fucking
I'd be
shaking.
like, I'll call you tomorrow.
I'm doing these ones. I'm fucking, like, hectic. Like, pretty much like I'm going to bed. Like, this is it. Like, there's no, and like, that's, I don't know, to me, it's sort of like, I don't know, I'm still sort of in the juggle of it. But it's interesting. It's definitely interesting.
I've definitely heard people talk about it, and that's why I'm intrigued in it. Like, I'd never do it myself because I just don't. I think it'd be a negative. Bro, after like 3 days, like I say to my missus, I'm like if we're going through some shit or we've had an argument or it's fucking this or that or just life's been great, it's like 3 days. It's like we're at day 3. Like the countdown starts. Like,
True.
like,
But do you think that is just like what if you try and control that? Like, do you know? I feel like you're strong enough to fucking deal with that.
I don't want
mentally.
to.
We get that.
You try and control. Stop breathing, brother. Call me when you're done. I just also but I'm not saying this because it's just like rooting random bitches. I'm in love with my missus. We have a great physical relationship and a mental relationship like that. Like I want to make love to her, like you mean.
Yeah.
Also think, and I will say this, she ain't gonna like this, but I will say, big benefit for bitches. I mean,
Yeah.
she might go without it for a couple of days. We're both going out for a couple of days, and then the next day she's like, "Hey, babe, this and that." And I was like, "You good today? Are you good? You in check? Yeah, you good? You mean like because for them, obviously, it's the chemicals and everything in their body, and
Yep.
yeah, I think intimacy in that aspect is if you're just out plugging randoms, pull your dick. But I wouldn't go 2 years or you mean whatever the fuck you're at. Like,
that was just
well, at least you were still servicing the building.
100%.
You were just
Yeah, but hey,
when I got
hey, someone's still servicing the building.
yeah.
And it's
you go-
been
you go
serviced,
for
but
such-
there's also been gaps and
was
and
gonna
high
say,
ends.
there's-
It's not
there's
always
stints
shit
in
happens.
between.
Yeah,
It's
like, it's had its moments. There's been some, but that, you know what the worst thing is? That's where the fuck up begins, right? So let's just say you might be seeing some bird. It's not great. All right, cool. I'm gonna step away and then keep moving over here and start doing, find another one. That gap in between builds up that weak tolerance. So you've met this new one,
So the first-
and you're like,
first
the first
occasion.
time you're like, oh, well, I'm done. We haven't even made out yet. We've just hugged on the first high, and you're like, it's not that bad, but it sort of is.
That takes a big man to be able to walk
just-
out.
bro,
to
I'll
walk
just-
out of that room all sticky and they haven't even taken them off yet. That takes a big man.
It does. It really does.
That's
But I will say, after that 2 years, and then finding, getting with me missus that I'm with now, like
see, I call what you
at
did
the-
a sacrifice.
at the start, man, like
It was a business. It was like fucking head in the game.
mental,
cunt.
man, mental. Like,
No
it's
time for
huge.
pussy. We got to fucking get money and get work.
I didn't.
that's
was like,
how
don't give
I
a
seen
fuck
it.
for it. Like I don't.
And he
I don't
didn't.
give
Like,
a fuck for it,
knowing
man.
this dude and being like, Mr.
like,
Motocross,
I don't-
freestyle dude, fucking
Throw your panties at me.
bad, right? And watch me catch every one of them too. I love pushing it and giving this guy shit. But seeing him just like a fucking fuck a bitch. Like I don't even have time to fucking.
Oh yeah,
Fuck
I never
off.
like got heavily involved in that. Like I wouldn't if I had
Groundwork.
To, like, yeah, well, see,
Nah.
I never had to do like huge groundwork.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have either because you got.
Nah,
set-
but when you're fucking 30
This,
plus,
you go out in the scene now, cunt.
you know
You'd
how
be
hard
fucked.
it is, man.
You wouldn't because you got a pretty good platform at the moment. But if
Yeah.
you weren't you and you were just a fucking average bro, it's fucked out here.
Like, and I just come
Don't
from
be average.
Yes.
But
That's what I was talking about
I
earlier
just
with Mars.
come-
Which is what he was doing. He was not being.
Whereas if you're a female right now,
not average.
if you're a female right now, you can open your legs and just it's a smorgasbord.
Fuck yeah.
Whereas if you're a dude and you can't pick and choose, go out there, put some work in, brother, make yourself something that some. Yeah.
Which is why the 2-year period was there, about.
Yeah, but you already had it before that. You knew that you could have pulled the trigger whenever you wanted to, like in that situation. You could have got a lead and chased a bitch up, and you mean 3-4 days later, you mean she's folded on the couch. Like you could have, but you chose not to.
Man,
As you
honestly,
said.
man, like I lived in Queensland for 10 years. I didn't have connections and just quick like, yo, what up? I've been speaking to you for the last. I had none of that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It was
Plus,
yeah.
throwing him out in the middle of fucking Balan in a factory by himself, sort of. There are all elements that, like, and again, I guess knowing and being a single dude doing the same sort of shit, it is a very, like, it's fucking rough out there. Yeah, bro.
Man.
And like again, this coming from a dude who like I don't know, I'm not to be a wanker and talk it up, but like I think I'm pretty fucking good. Yeah, I should pull some bitches. I'm not fucking really ugly, but it's like, man, I feel sorry for these dudes that are, because they don't get anything, cunt. There's no way they do.
They just go into a school and shoot it up. Like them.
But at the same time, Shane,
Right.
you'd be surprised.
That some of these motherfuckers
They
pull
know how to
some
talk,
birds
man.
and
They
yeah.
have got it. Like, they have got it. And
That's-
it's
that's-
No, you know what they usually have? A bank account with
Yeah.
decimals.
Yeah, that
Man,
helps.
Usually that.
They've
Dudes
got-
look attractive and they got a bank. But it's either one way or the other. It's either they got no money, like back when I was selling drugs. Like I had bank, but you mean you wouldn't take me home to your dad.
Yeah.
But I had bank and all the nice clothes, but then girls go, oh, that. Or then it's the other way is if you have all the bank. But if you're in between, you don't have much on the table. Yeah, I get it.
It's
but
a fucking hard game.
That
Like-
side of it, I have no idea. But this used to holding the demon, the demigod inside. Like I just find that intriguing.
He's doing that. He's doing that.
He just
on
wasn't
his-
fucking.
I wasn't going, like, I'm going to do this purposely to myself. It was like, I'm just not going to chase it. I said, if someone walks through my roller door and loves what I've got going on here and is all about bikes and fucking which basically like
has now come to fruition.
Happened.
it's like I was like, I am not putting any fucking energy into any chick. Like, go and get fucked.
Yeah.
Don't care. I'm doing what I need to do to build up something that I need because I'm lagging because I've had a fucking 10-year fucking drug addiction.
Yeah.
And I was a useless cunt. Fucking work.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see how that would have pulled you. I only had the prescription drug issue there for like a period of time, and like it put some brakes on you.
Yeah, it fucked that through you, didn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I was thinking about it the other night. I still remember one of the last big sessions of getting tattooed. It's across all my back and down my shoulders and that. And like I took like Xannies. I took like 2 Xannies and an Oxy. Like I could take a Xanny and go to work. Like and I still remember one of them big last sessions. I was thinking about it. I remember taking that, and then all I remember was waking up the next day.
Yeah.
And apparently, like I got picked up, taken home, sat in the shower for like I had like a whole thing. Had that smashed in my face, which I'd said to the tattoo artist, like, I'm thinking about putting that on the face. I just woke up next morning, I had my face tattooed. Like, yeah. But like, I got to the point, the last time actually that like really spun me and I stopped it was when I went to Brad's and I'd had like a real bad day. I couldn't walk up his stairs. Like I was drooling and shit. I just love the numb feeling.
Yeah.
Someone walk in and go, bro, you're dead. Your dog's dead. You're like, fuck man, I like that dog.
Yeah.
You mean like it was just a numb feeling. Like
Were
and in that period in
were
time,
you like chasing this shit? Were you on it?
just go to the doctors.
Yeah, but how long of a period were you on it? Was there
18 months to 2 years.
So there was an addiction in the end?
Yeah. Yeah, that's like when I went like going there. You mean like I'm like I needed it all the time. As I said, because I like that off switch.
Yep.
And obviously, me and April weren't together at that time. We were going through so much shit.
Yeah.
And it was just
You didn't want to feel that.
it was a vice. Like it was an out. You know what I mean? Like it just it was so easy to get. So
Just oxys.
mainly Xannies, Oxys,
Vals.
Vals. Towards the end, they started push me hard on Serical. That fucked me. That was real.
That would have.
Once dude just gave it to me, and I started taking it. It was only on it for like a week, and I was like, I am off me dial. Like I can take Xannies and come to work and still sort of function and have a conversation and that. And like I wasn't myself.
Yep.
But then I look into it, and it's like for people with like split personality and like
Bro, that
all the
shit's
extra
full
shit.
on.
That one after a week, that was I was like,
Hectic.
yeah. So, but yeah, it was just
Interesting. I didn't realize. I might have known a little bit that you had something to do with it, but I didn't realize that you had. Yeah.
no.
anything
I
to
tried
do
knocking
with-
myself off twice in that period.
Yep.
Like I got pretty bad on it. Like I was.
And you were broadcasting all this sort of to a point too.
I didn't really want to. It
No.
was more Brad pushed it that side, and you mean he looked at it in the right light.
I remember that.
He
yeah.
looked at it in the right light, like you don't understand. Like everyone's looking at you, thinking you're killing it, you're doing this and that, and your life's ball. But behind the closed doors, bro, like you're a
You're broken.
fucking mess. Cunt. Like,
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah. He helped me dramatically through that period in life. Like he really,
Yep.
yeah. There was a couple of times that, I was fucking off the rails with that
So
shit.
good.
Yeah.
I understand now how people get hooked on it so quick, and like, as I said, for me it was the feeling of numb.
Yeah.
Like you mean, like you just the emotions and that, like you could process it, but like it wasn't.
Didn't matter.
Yeah, but you
Nothing
like
mattered.
wouldn't flip. You know what I mean? Like, it was and I understand why people get so addicted to it so quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's just and I had the main reason I loved obviously was the numb, but it flicked that switch to turn me off because I never stopped, and because you mean like I'm high drive and I'm over the top all the time, and you mean you'd sit there and
It gave you that step back.
that's
a
like
little
why
bit.
now, like I smoke now, but I've obviously got a prescription to smoke, but I only smoke at night.
Yep.
But like, and sometimes I don't smoke all the time.
Yep.
But like when I do, like it's not for the like I don't want to be lit. It's more the fact that like I can smoke and then sit down.
And
And have.
I'm not even thinking of work. I'm
Yep.
not even thinking of that. I'm not even. I'm just off. And sometimes it might only be for fleeting seconds.
Yep.
But it's literally just that. It's like okay, like the Windows is shut down on the computer.
Yep.
We'll restart in the morning.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That for me is just bliss. That and sleep.
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing. And that was the biggest thing I was using the prescription drugs for, was like the sleep side of it.
Yep. That
And
was
I
like
was-
the excuse, or more of it, or you literally using it for that. Like
Bit of
or was it-
both. Bit of both.
Yeah,
It was towards the end I was just abusing the shit out of it. Like I'd go and see this Indian doctor and he'd be like, make up some bullshit story, and he'd be like, oh yeah, so what do you want? I'm like, oh, do you reckon we'll drive out? Yeah, I'll just give you this. You know what I mean? Like he was just feeding them to me.
Yep. Classic.
But it was the sleep.
Classic certified drug dealer.
Yeah, classic. Yeah, medical. Never asked how my diet was. Never asked what was going on in life.
Yeah.
Never asked any of that. You know what I mean? Like, that's
Just keep
Now,
filling the
now I
pills.
look at that shit and I'm like, well, fucking dirt. No wonder how people get hooked up on it. But
Yeah.
it's the sleep thing. That's what like all that whole period and the depression and that. That's what we figured out at the end. Like that's what for me it comes down to. Like ask the boys. Like if I piss and moan about sleep. Like if I don't have 2 days, if I go 2 days without a solid sleep, day 3 I start looking at power poles on the way to work.
Yeah.
I fucking need sleep. Like,
True.
like not heaps. Like I don't need to sleep for like 2 days.
How what do you get in? What
7
do you,
to 8 hours.
So yeah,
Yep. I just
It's
need
just
that
standard.
because the hours I'm awake, that
it's on.
like there's 24,000
you wake
billion
up
tabs.
and hit
I'm
the
literally
ground
talking to you, thinking about calling a customer I know who's got to pick their car up, and I'll tell them what time tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
I just
get
have
that.
tabs open all the time,
Yep.
and that's why I need sleep. That's why obviously when it comes back to the sexual side of things, that release it puts me to sleep.
Yep.
That or smoking helps me to drift off to sleep.
Yep.
Sleep for me is a big thing. Whereas like these boys, like sometimes you've been like, oh, I had 4 or 5 hours sleep. It's like, bro, 2 days of
Can't
doing
do
that, I'd walk in, I'd just throw a mocktail in the shop and like, let it go. Burn that. I'll have a sleep, we can rebuild.
Yeah.
I need a sleep. So that's why it's interesting, because I'm the complete opposite. Because I know you can run off. Like,
I've been realistically thinking a lot too. I have to do a catch up, but I am on fire with 6 hours.
okay.
But again, that'll keep catch up, and like on that Friday night, Saturday morning, I'm sleeping till 11.
Yeah.
Sort of. I need those.
Have kids and come back to me.
100%. And I'm probably lucky in a sense, but yeah, I'm and even just like I have that some of my best hardest days are like going away doing shit, not sleeping all night because the buzz is there and I'm hanging around.
Yeah.
2 hours sleep, get up and I'm just fucking beast mode. Like that obviously can't. Continue.
And I'm the same. Like I can go, have big days and then have a big night with work, content, whatever like that. Roll into the next day and roll pretty hard.
Yeah.
Don't string that together for 3 days.
I was going to say,
it will be
not
you in
going to
the arse.
continue.
Yeah,
100%.
You hear all these people like, oh, you don't sleep and do this and outwork your competition while they're sleeping and that. And it's like, that's cool, bro. I remember listening to a Costa Zoo thing when I was a kid. And he was talking about like how all these boxers and fighters and shit, wake up at like 4 a.m. in the morning and they go for their run and they do their jog and that, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
But then he talked about with himself, he's like, I'll make sure I'm recharged and refreshed and have a great sleep in, because if I sleep in three hours longer than what you're sleeping in, you might have been up earlier, but actually being productive and actually doing it to the full extent of what you need to do.
Yeah.
I'd rather come in refreshed, recharged every day to be able to perform to my highest standard instead of going, this is what's expected.
Yeah.
I've had 3 hours sleep, but I still got to get up and go do this.
Yeah.
And when I heard that, I sort of started, and then they've talked about how important sleep is.
Yeah.
And to perform, like I think, if you had to do a speaking engagement tomorrow and talk in front of 10,000 people, which after like the first couple of times you probably wouldn't sleep because you're nervous.
Yeah,
but after a while you would go there. You would
go to that with 1 hour's sleep because I'd sit in that hotel room going, oh my god, what am I going to say?
And then he walks out and it's been like 4 months and he hasn't seen anyone and the girl's got half a blouse on. He's like, oh, sorry, it's all over. Welcome to my TED Talk. Thank you. But you know what I mean? Like that's a big thing. Sleep is just another big thing and that was one of the things once I got off prescription drugs and I figured that out.
Yep.
I was like, man, when I can switch off and I can have that downtime, you can perform well.
Yep.
So
that's fucking.
Then you have fucking kids and then Lakers up and Aries have nightmares and Dad, I had a nightmare. It's like I put you to bed 3 minutes ago. You haven't closed your eyes yet. Yeah, but I'm thinking bad thoughts. That's not a nightmare, Dale. And then you start that. Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah, that is hectic. How long have we been going for, bruv?
What's time?
Yeah, all right.
Have you got questions you got to bust me with at the end, or is that all? Or am I good or am I scot free?
I think pretty good. I did have another one,
I've got
but
one
it's not. Oh, in a nutshell, like, all right, from back in the day, so what have you like fucking with all these cars and going from old cars to new cars and fancy cars? Like, say when you were a kid, you had like, oh, I want a dream car. It's the Lamborghini, right? It's the big fucking. Does that matter to you anymore, or is it like little things now that you care about within cars and that?
In what aspect? As in like what I want, or just as a job?
You personally, like, say your dream car.
I have like 3-4 cars in my head that like I want to attain one day.
Yep.
They're from my childhood for that reason. Like in that reasoning, like I've always wanted an LJ Tirana or something like that. Like, and my old man had a Tirana as a kid.
Yep.
Like, I remember parts of it, not much, but like I've always just
been
that. Like, there's 3 or 4 like Aussie classic cars that I want.
Yep.
I'd be one of them persons that like if I won the lotto tomorrow, when I get to the point that I'm going to get to, I'm not going to go and buy a Ferrari or McLaren.
Yep.
I'll go and buy a HK GTS first with a big block in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'll go buy a HK
one.
Yeah, I can. I'm just going to have to have Vitali money. You know what I mean? Like you have to be at that level.
Yeah.
But like I'd rather go buy them cars before I then go out and buy an exotic that people go, oh, you're such, you mean?
Well, that I guess that, and obviously like working on them, being around them, do you realise that they're not that special? That like those old muscle cars have more special in them?
Yeah, they do. They do. Especially because they're not around. And they were built by real people.
Yeah.
In real factories.
Yeah.
Real families. They were made out of metal.
Yeah.
They were built. You mean, there's nothing better than seeing, prime example, like someone like Sobolic's 3,000 horsepower HQ. You know what I mean?
Sick.
Nothing better than seeing that and going, that was built in the 80s to take the family to the fucking beach.
Yeah.
This gun's running 6. You know, 3,000.
Yeah.
Like, and just the body styling of it, like we did in the shop the other week, we had a 1958 Corvette in.
Yep.
A car like that can't stop staring at it.
Yeah.
It's fucking gorgeous. You think, how the fuck in 58 did they have the ideas to have that body styling and to have this and to have that and to have the chrome and that? Whereas then you see a car these days like a Kia or something, you're like, it's just aluminum panels smashed together.
Yeah. And then it's fake, man. It's all
Yeah, and obviously they
plastic.
heavily focus on the technology, the cars now, not that, but
Yeah.
Man,
you
when
do still
we're
get. It's no different to your dirt bikes, you know, man. You go out and go into a motorbike shop right now and see a brand new CR, and then you see old mate CR 500.
Yeah, you want the 500.
Yeah, oh, you not even want it. You look at it and you go,
Sick.
you appreciate it.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
Like,
that's probably-
yeah,
I'm
like
gonna
if you
have
got
one
one,
of
you
them.
wouldn't ride it. You just hang it from the roof because it scared the shit out of you.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So no, in aspects like that, and that's I always have people go like, "Oh, what's your favorite car in this?" Like, I don't have one.
Yeah, of course.
Like I've never had like, what's your favorite detail car in the shop? I've never.
Yeah.
Every car's had a. You mean we've had some sick cars come through that have had just like good stories of family history or saving people. But I think the biggest thing I'm trying to focus on now with the cars and that type of thing is preserving them cars for our kids.
Yes. Yeah, that's the key.
Our kids, preserving them and the
Keeping them at a
the cars.
standard.
Like obviously we're doing the HKs and HQs and you mean all that. But it'll be the VKs and V. Like imagine going to.
AUs.
Kinda, yeah.
What was the
For their reliability. No, but imagine going to somewhere.
silence.
Couldn't have been better, dude.
Imagine going to Bright Rod Run. Like, have you boys been to Bright Rod Run?
Yeah, a long time ago, but my parents go.
I can't wait to go to Bright Rod Run in 10, 15 years, and there'll be some older cars there, but then it'll be our generation cars. It'll be
Yeah.
like VLs, VKs, shit like that. That'd be sick, you mean, to see that. So I'm trying to, with business now, it's more the preserving and protecting of cars, and also explaining to people how to properly look after shit.
Yeah.
Like how to properly maintain and look
I've
after
got this
it.
AU Falcon that I might need some tips for. Just how to preserve it.
What's the name of that firework? Mass destruction.
So just drop a couple of them in there.
Hey, look, AUs are sick cars, like you mean, and I've done a long time ago. I did like one of the Tickford AUs. You mean,
Yeah, right.
like as in like it was a high end
Proper.
thing, but yeah, but like,
Yeah,
do I personally find that visually appealing vehicle?
of course. Yeah.
Of course not. No, I don't. I know you.
I know.
do.
I look.
But at the end of the day, at the end of the day, if they said, "Hey, the apocalypse is coming, world's done for,"
Give me
car.
one.
pick one that you have to run away and it's reliable. Like, give me an AU, dog. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I will go through a swamp, through a paddock, through a fence, through that, and it'll probably still go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, in that aspect, but yeah, when it comes to cars, yeah. I have a few cars in my head that I obviously want to attain one day. I obviously got cars. Like, the kids have got cars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I bought the kids cars and things
Yep.
like that they'll have when they're older.
Yep.
Yeah, I've still got the clubby
Yep.
and all that. Like, it's all there. Like,
Is it run? Is the clubby running? Or it's just there.
no, it's there. Like, everything's there to put it back together. Like, everything, even the genuine HSV kit, everything's there.
Yep.
I'll do that older with Laker. That's another question I get hammered on socials all the time, and everyone always, why don't you build a car? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Blah, blah, blah.
Same.
I get it. Here's the thing. If I build a car, it's going to take a fuck ton of my time. It's going to take a fuck ton of my money.
Yep.
All that does is take that away from my kids.
Yep.
The time I invest in them, the time I'm around. Remember, I didn't have a dad around.
Yep.
So I don't care about that. I want to spend time with my kids.
Yep.
All it does is that and that. Then all it's going to do is look cool on Instagram, and I look like a sick cunt. And then first event I go to, takes one person to give me half of a G up. I'll fold it in half and put it on its lid.
Yep.
And then Laker doesn't care.
Yep.
Aria doesn't care. They don't give
Oh.
two shits. They don't care. Like, they're like, well, you mean they're not going to care when they're older. I'm like, oh, dad had a cool car and
Yeah.
I built it and I smashed tires off it and I did this and it was cool on the internet. I'd rather wait till Laker's older and to be able to do things with him.
Yep.
Like, Aria's got a Calais, Laker's got his Calais. Like, I'd rather be able to do that. So that's
Yeah,
the clubby's
yeah,
going to come out soon in that sense, but it's going to be not wild, and it's more for the fact of like, I want to be a dad. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, cool shit
yeah.
comes later.
Fucking oath.
Yeah.
That makes.
So you're not building a skid car.
Nah.
I thought you
I
started.
I had a blown combo. I had the big massive
Yeah.
blown combo. Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
sold
yeah.
it. No, I sold that, and you know what I did? That sat there for 2 years with nothing. Like, I just let it sit there for 2 years and I had all these guys' operations, blah, blah, blah. And all I would have done is put that in a car and torched it. You know,
Yeah.
it'd be in the paddock, like in a blown car, I'd be like, watch this.
Yep.
I sold that. I put that money back into the business.
Yep.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
because the business will.
Yeah. And I think like I can't agree and relate to that anymore. Like I'm you do Summernats and everyone's like, Boogs, when are you going to build a car? Like, one, I don't build cars, man.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to pay someone to do all the work.
Yeah.
No.
Two, I don't give a fuck.
Like, two, I just really
I do.
couldn't
Don't get me
care.
wrong. If I
Fuck
was
yeah.
in a situation where I had bankroll now,
I'll be
and
at
I had
Summernats.
people to build cars for me, and it didn't
Fuck
take me
yes.
away, and I could delegate.
Yep.
Like, hey, can you build me this? Can you build me that? But I also see people around me that have done that, and the pressures that's put on their relationship, the pressures put on financially, and then you see the cars come up later on for sale, and it's like, I know you built that for that. Now I see it for this price.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, and all you did is miss that time away from your kids.
Yep.
Or like some people obviously do take their kids, and I think that's cool.
Yep.
But at the same time, like I just would rather,
Yeah, fully. To me, and it's like that. I'd rather, and again, my head goes differently. Like I'm not an engine. I'd rather make the car look like something than have it.
He's just got Jurassic Park with like 6-7 months hanging off it.
But you know what? Like I'd rather spend fucking time building a room like this and creating something than like putting all this money into an engine that I know
I'll build you a
just gonna
car.
fucking
I'll
blow
build,
up.
I'll build you a car. It'll be a white AU to be called the Seaman Demon because it never gets off. It's just, I get what I know. I 100% agree with the same thing. And a lot of people these days, I know a lot of guys that actually build cars for themselves and to enjoy on weekends and things like that.
Fully, and like they're those dudes that are in the shed anyway.
They're
those
usually
dudes.
pretty crafty and know what they're doing. And
They
know
love
how to
it.
do
Like, and that's fucking all for it, bro. It's fucking keep building cars out the back. But that whole, not everyone has to have a fucking car in that, like, you can still go and just appreciate it.
Yeah, and
I
it's
think.
also my addiction that I know I'm a fucking space cadet in a car.
Yeah, same. It's like, bro, I'm not, like,
But I've
put it up against a wall and
Look at my
go
clubby.
light this thing on fire.
The club, the way I drove that thing, bro.
Yeah.
Like I know, like it's funny because I still had one of my mates in the shop this week, and even he brought up. He's like, "We're just driving down the road one day in the clubby, and there's like 3 little kids on the side of the roads on scooters, and one of them's like, do a skid, bro. I smacked a full set at like 3 o'clock in the middle of a Tuesday, like you know what I mean? Like, and I still remember power skidding down the road, and these kids are all like. Fuck. Like I just can get that click that you mean, and
we did it earlier.
Because I
Doesn't
don't
take
drink
much.
and because I don't take drugs and because I don't go out and I don't have that outlet. But when I get that spike of adrenaline,
Oh yeah, keep it up.
it's
Keep it up.
for me.
Keep it up.
Skids and fireworks.
Yeah.
Like if someone's like, I'm gonna let fire, I'm like, I get that little, like that fight or flight just in me. I'm like, Or someone's like, hey, do a skid. I'm like, I will fold your quarters.
Yep.
Like, don't put me in your car. So, and they're just my vices. But then obviously I go to Summernats and people are like, you're a mascot. Like, that's life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Yep.
also there's a time and a place and obviously doing it smart and things like that. But yeah, I don't want to invest a heap of money into something that
It's just a bit of fun.
a tool to look cool on social media and then
Yeah.
I'm going to fold it in half.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Did you say you had one more or something?
No, that was it. I was going to ask about the skid car because I knew you had shit there, a
Yeah.
combo, and I just
I've still got
didn't know.
3 cars. So I'm going to do something with the truck
Yep.
before Summernats. That's the game plan.
Nice.
But again, that'll just be a daily. But like I still want to do like something pretty fat.
Yep.
But in saying that, like it's not going to be a full. And if you see me at Summernats, don't jam me up. I'm not going to fucking skid a Silverado at Summernats. I can't even I won't be able to tip it in. Like, because I know people hearing that be like, oh, I'm going to get on this gun's roof. I'll let you sit on the roof, but I'm not going to skid it and fold it. Like, that's just, that's probably the other reason that I don't build a tough car. Because do you know how many people I've had booted from Summernats? Like, as soon as they've seen me, like, if I took a car, they'd be booted at like 8:30 on a Thursday morning.
Yeah, I get that. So, wouldn't take long.
Wouldn't last long.
So
Fully. Well, that's a
we
good
talked lot
yarn.
we talked a lot about the male productive system throughout the whole
there
thing.
was a lot of that we
Yeah,
Covered a bit.
I hope lots of men are getting heavily laid tonight. Heavily.
Fuck yeah, no, that'll do. I think. Fucking oath. Cheers for coming, bruv.
Thank you for having us.
We might. Yeah, no.
And the boys. Thank you for having the boys here as
Fucking
well.
always welcome, boys. Yeah, no, that's about it. Fucking oath.
it.
Cheers. Cheers for coming.
Let's go destroy some shit.
Episode 22. Let's go. Let some fireworks off. Whoop whoop.
My die!